Welcome to the grand final! Banshee Cup number 1 is gonna come to an end. Brax's Holdout is our first map in a best of 7 series between the Raiders and Team Ash. We get the rematch, everybody. We already had the same series in the winner bracket final and it was amazing. It went to the final map. It was insane. And, well, it had a bit of a twist there towards the end too. You could argue that one team kind of threw the win away. But now that we have the rematch between the two of them, I am sure that Team Ash is going to try and just drop the Raiders where they can. Now, there is obviously a bit of an advantage coming from the winner bracket, and the way that we do it is you have the map choice and you have first pick. So in this case, the Raiders, they have not only the choice of map, but they also went first pick, first ban. Now, I personally don't really like those shenanigans where you come in and say like, oh, the team of the winner bracket has a 1-0 lead, because I think it's silly as hell. First of all, you already have an advantage because you have to play a lot less games than your opponent. So Team Ash, for example, already played for a couple of hours, so they are a bit tired. But in addition to that, you can also study the entire time what your opponent is doing in other games. You can prepare for it. You can think about, okay, how do we counter this? What do we do here? Do we maybe change our ban pattern? And then on top of that, you now have first pick, first ban. So those 1-0 shenanigans, not a fan of it, confuses everybody, and it's just awkward. Hey, we're here in game number 1, but a team has already a point, and so on and so forth. Now, we're in the Banshee Cup. That means we still have a rule. That rule for draft means that you can only pick a hero once within a series, or actually a hero can only be played once within a series. So any hero that is here in map number 1 can't be played anymore for the remainder of the series, and so on and so forth. Could become interesting. Always depending on how many games we are going to get, of course. And then in addition to that, we have the bounties. Now, the bounties are still at play. Do I really expect that we're going to get the bounties used in the grand final? Probably not. If we're going to game number 5, 6, 7, we might run out of some roles, some dealers where somebody says, you know what? Right now, that Murky pick, that Kel'Thuzad pick is actually looking pretty good. And Cho'Gall is one of the heroes that I could definitely see being taken. So bounties are still there. If you complete a bounty, you get $50 additional for the prize pool, as we already said. So the bounty system now used for the first time in this tournament. But we already announced we're going to run a second season of the Banshee Cup. And we're going to adjust the bounty system a little bit to incentivize teams more to pick them. We're going to have a players draft with 8 teams and then a full round robin between them. And we're going to have a fixed prize pool for the tournament and a separate pool for the bounty. So if only one team in the entire tournament finishes one bounty, they get the entire bounty pool. And if multiple teams complete bounties, then of course that pool gets split. So that means that especially at the beginning of the tournament, there's a huge incentive for teams to go in and complete a couple of bounties. So it should be pretty fun. Second season is going to start, but first we're going to focus on our grand final here and season number 1. And as we're heading into the draft, I want to give a quick and big shout out again to the sugar daddy of the storm, which is Kevin Psychiv, the man himself who not only hosted the events in Miami, the offline events that we had in the last few years, but also the Nations Cup tournament that ended in Berlin with a massive offline final where we had Korean teams, where we had NA teams, and it was just a blast. He's also powering here the Banshee Cup, which is why the tournament is called the Banshee Cup. He's a Heroes of the Storm, Sylvanas one-trick pony, and has 8, 9... At some point he has to tell me how many games he has these days. I know that it's like 7,000 or 8,000 on his main account. I don't know about any potential smurfs there. Suffice it to say, he loves to play Sylvanas, and since she is the Banshee Queen, that's the name of the cup, the Banshee Cup. Blaze and Garrosh at the opening for the Raiders. We get Maiev and Hogga as we're heading into Braxis. And both of them have that mobility that I've been talking about in the past on Braxis. So Anubarak is still up. You could go for Anubarak frontline. He can also traverse terrain very easily. We have seen for the very same reason Kharazim sometimes used here as well. So there's still a lot of really good options that they have. A couple of heroes obviously that fit the same bill have been banned out right away. That would fit Sylvanas, but also Genji. And now the red team with their double pick for Muradin. He can quickly hop over it. And we get Chromie, the only one that is left behind. Totally okay with that. Always leave Chromie behind. Yeah, always leave her behind. Use her as bait, is what I say. She's maybe a little bit too big to fit on a hook, but yeah. Turning Chromie into fishing bait would be kind of funny. She's dragon bait. Every time that a real dragon hears that she calls herself an actual dragon, they get so mad that they're just going to blindly go for her, and she draws aggro like that, and they can take the dragon out. It's a bit of a strategy that you might want to use for yourself. You're going to be surprised by the results. Gavlo with Vala, and we get Medivh. So game number 1, we already have Vala and Medivh taken by Nano. Yeah, they're starting off strong here. Also taking this away from Team Ash, who had in the previous series a pretty fantastic game with Medivh on Tomb of the Spider Queen. So yeah, taking Medivh away from them, I can understand why. Anduin comes in as our final pick, and that leads us into the first game of the best of 7 grand final, everybody, at the Banshee Cup. Let's go. Game number 1 in the grand final with Nano on Medivh for the blue team. We have the Raiders going up against the Team Ash. Gavlo playing with Vala, not making a choice here on level 1, but it looks like it could be an arrow build for him. Krankle with Garrosh, Sven on Blaze, and we have Hunter Orc on Malfurion for the first game of the series. Over on the right side of the map, it's Bishops for Team Ash with Maiev. We have Morenas on Muradin, Renella on Anduin, and Lopaka on Chromie, with good old Maitri playing Hogga in the series. So let the games begin, and Vala is going for auto attacks. Feels that Medivh is enough to keep her alive here and do his thing. We'll see if this is going to happen, or if they're going to run into some trouble, but at least for now, the tether is already going strong. And Nano is dead. Shut down immediately. Already some top-notch heroes being played, specifically, of course, one of the favorites of Bishops himself with Maiev, and it leads to a quick kill. They're looking for another one. And instead Maiev might be the one to fall. Bishops gets crushed. Vala comes in, gets the auto attacks connected. So yeah, it's a killer against a kill at the end of the day. Medivh obviously losing some stacks, but let's be honest about it for just a moment. He didn't have any at the time anyways. So yeah, whatever. Slow is his progress now. That's still definitely true. One of the heroes that they're going to be focusing on quite a bit is, of course, Vala, as they're going to be trying to keep her as low as they possibly can. The goal definitely has to be to remove the attack speed that she gets through her quest, so the Gambit, but also just to slow her down on any quest progress that she could make on level 1 to keep her damage at a minimum. Especially, of course, since with level 16 she's going to get Manticore, which is going to make things so much more tricky for them as well then. The camps are being taken, the first objective is announced, the beacons are now popping up on the map down to the bot lane. This is where the 4-man is very likely going to still try and dominate things. But Hogga has now the camp assistance at the top, and the same is also true for his opponent. So the same is absolutely true for Blaze. Both of them can rely on that camp, and it comes down to wave split a little bit who's going to reign supreme there. Down at the bottom of the map, different story. There we already have Maiev looking for another tether. They go for Garrosh. Krankle, careful, has no level 4 yet. So that means we don't have Indomitable for him yet. And that could quickly become a problem. So yeah, beacon progress has already started. The red team in control and is taking a pretty nice early lead. Good for them. This could actually be a problem because they're getting way more than I anticipated. We already have them at 42% with a huge 50%, locking in even more. And this is not a winner takes all. So even if the blue team is able to bring this back and claim it, essentially they're allowing the red team to walk away with a very, very strong objective no matter what. And as it seems, it could even result in 100% to essentially 0. So yeah, Maitri is forced back. Blaze takes over at the top. But yeah, this is still not a great start for the Raiders. And again, the Raiders won the last best of 5 between the two teams. Let's not forget about that. They were able to decide the best of 5 series in their favor. Barely. I mean, literally, insanely close. The games were crazy good, but specifically the last game was just nuts. Now, on the other hand, Team Ash is coming into this already warmed up a bit, and they're just saying, all right, boys, let's go. Let's take him out. Let's not waste any time here. Let's show the Raiders what we are made of and claim this one. This tournament has been insane from the beginning. First in the qualifiers, Bratwurst boys dominating everything. Team Ash joining late, a few other teams too. And then in the group stage, Bratwurst boys getting eliminated. Team Ash taking first spot in their group. And a lot of the favorites just out of the tournament before it even really started. And then it was just utter chaos. The last 4 teams, beautiful games. I mean, we had so many good games, reverse sweeps, literally anything you can imagine, core races, you name it. And now we have finally the best of 7 series to determine which team is going to take the tournament victory. And it's already, I mean, honestly, I'm really looking forward to this. After what the 2 teams did in the winner bracket final, this is going to be good. Hogger gets killed. Nice push at the top, but it didn't result in a fort taken out, so at least they break through the wall. Of course, on Braxis, you want to make sure that you take down your opponent's fort as soon as you can. I mean, one of the ideas is really to remove the fountains. And once that the fountains are gone, the sustain on the lane is going to be eliminated. So it's much, much easier to maintain control of the beacon if you're getting to that spot. So if they can go that far, different story, time will tell. But as is, we are still having all of this playing out with massive aggression at the top lane. Level 7 is already ready for the Raiders, and well, they have the stack slowly for Vala, who's really doing a great job just weaving in those auto attacks, and she hasn't died yet. Neither has Medivh after the earlier kill, so now he's at 21 stacks and is still building his baseline up. Yeah, Hogger still poking this out. They're stealing the camp away, so that was a nice little move. Making sure that Blaze isn't able to take the camp, so they take it from him, and that helps a little bit. Might not be the biggest play, but again, this is destroying parts of the wall. The rotation, on the other hand, is now coming their way too, but we have the portal engage, and they are trying to use that in order to surprise them, and then quickly, yeah, drop maybe a hero or 2. And Bishops was the target, at least in this case, but he's able to move out, so not a big problem for him. Can easily escape all of this as more camps are being taken now by the red team. So yeah, we have Team Ash just doing whatever they can in an attempt to maintain control. And of course, what they are going to do is to just simply try and now not only take the mercenary camps and get the control there, but also move straight in for the next objective and then continue where they left off the last time. Just keep the objective going, keep the control there. And maybe even take a structure or 2 down. Tower at the bottom of the map gets destroyed, so they've been able to eliminate that. And now they can try and use their camp to maybe get actual damage in on the fort itself. Beacon has also started to pop up. I'm just not sure if Hogger can really hold the top lane for too long. The bot... Ooh, Muradin! No! Yeah, the portal is still there, but that got dicey for a second. Admin pulled him out and he also jumped away. But that got tricky quickly. So 83 stacks now for Vala. We can also take a quick look at damage as the teams are aiming for level 10. We have 14,000 for Hogger, still playing it out at the top, and 16,000 for Vala. Control at the bottom of the map by the blue team. At the top, Hogger is still holding it. So this is a bit tricky because there is a camp that is pushing in, and Hogger will have to defend, which allows Sven to go for the point and take control of the beacon. They're trying to retake control at the bottom of the map, but Krankle is firmly positioned on that point. The first few percentage points are tickling in favor of the Raiders, but at least Team Ash was able to shut that down a little bit more heavily. So, at this point right now, level 10 kicking in soonish for both of them, but there's a small advantage for the Raiders. Small advantage for them that they can try and use here. Just not sure if they can really use it in order to get themselves a quick kill. Maybe if Garrosh is able to move in for that. Progress on 40% already now. 42, 44 for Team Ash. Again, good job on the beacons. But here are the level 10 abilities. No surprises. We had a lot of Decimate in the tournament, but now we're getting Warlord's Challenge for Garrosh. And the attacks are coming from both sides. Hogger with a Horderpolt, and they want Muradin, and Morenas goes down. Vala gets the kill. The light bomb engaged from Maiev, not strong enough, only tickled Garrosh a bit. But the double control on the beacons is now again in the hands of the blue team. And Sven is trying to maintain it up at the top. Jet propulsion hits, and there comes the portal. And Hogger has to jump out with his ult. Uses Horderpolt, escapes, gets out. But this is where the Raiders are starting to take a bit of a lead. They might have lost the first objective, but now they are definitely starting to not only take control of the objective, but also take control of the game. Didn't take this though. Maiev is dead, but they didn't take the point in time, so now they're only getting a few percent because Chrome is at the bottom of the map and is relieving them again of the bot lane control. 4 kills to 1, at least on the kill count. We're having the Raiders taking a lead, and a significant one at that. So yep, this is definitely going to matter as all of this continues. They're starting to come in again with another little push here, as they're hoping to take the wall down. Mirrodin gets rooted into the ground once again. We saw the same play earlier, but Vala was able to take him on. 34 stacks for Medivh, slowing Sands on the ground, and Morenas has to jump away. And does so, just in time. That got dangerous. Blaze at the bottom of the map. Up here, they want to take control again. Blaze is retaking at the bottom as they're making a move for Medivh. And he gets saved. Medivh, 39 stacks. He can't die. And, well, there it is. The quest is completed. Quest complete. Time to feed. Yeah, now's the moment if you want to defeat. Now you can. But without Garrosh throwing him out, that would have been the end. I mean, Garrosh throwing him away, that was the big one. If that wasn't a thing, that would have been a disaster. Oh, just imagine losing that again at 39 stacks or whatever he had. Oh god, I don't even want to. But yeah, so he's able to make it. He's alive. He's alive. Bishops then again, they're trying to go on Garrosh and the disc is out, so maybe now there's a moment to drop the front line. But Medivh, time and time again, being a pain in the butt. They share control of the beacons right now, so no team having a big advantage or anything, but yeah, it's just all over the place. Honestly, you're just looking at this and it is attack after attack. Still the 4 kills to 1. They're claiming or attempting to take beacon control as they're claiming one position after another, but it seems like it is nearly always a split between them. The 1v1 continues here as well. They're making another move down at the bottom of the map as they're trying to go for Hogger, but he survives. 13 is on the board now, so they got level 13 talents. Yeah, still looking for another attack. Also, I gotta really give some credit to Vala in particular. She hasn't died yet, and on top of that, she also is looking at really solid stacks. That's 144 already that we're talking about here, so that is quite a lot. Now, with 149 stacks for her, she's only 1 hit away from the next quest reward for even more auto attack damage. On top of that, what we're getting is a fort destroyed, so there's that. First structure goes down on the blue team side. Despite the fact that the red team is struggling a bit in some moves here, they are still able to take the first fort out, and they've been doing a very solid job with a lot of the plays that they've generally been making here, especially around the objective. But now Mirrodin is in trouble again, and the Raiders are determined to turn all of this around. They've taken a bit of an advantage initially, but now with the play against Mirrodin, they might just snowball this hard. They go for Renella again and try to take him out too. And Renella rather low, so not only does he die, but they're also getting Chromie up at the top right. Everybody's on the fort already, as the bot lane control is, I guess for now, in the hands of the red team. But the bunker, Blaze, he survives, he buys time as the top fort gets taken, even before an objective for the team comes in. Now Sven has bought a lot of time, but I'm not so sure if he can get out of this. Yeah, there's the portal, and he gets the heal as well. So they have a control at the top. Now they can try and take the control of the bottom beacon and get their Zerg wave. They've also now expanded the lead in experience that they claimed earlier. It's 1.5 levels that they find themselves ahead. So yeah, big. But how far can they go with this now? Because the 5-man is back up on the map. 5-man is back up. So, question is, what else can they do here? Here's the attack coming against Blaze, slowing Sands. Okay, they might have a chance to take him out now. Beacon control at the top for the red team, so they're playing the ring around the rosy game when nobody seems to be able to go for that second Zerg wave. But one fort is destroyed at the top. Each team has destroyed one. So they're dead even in structures. It's a fantastic opening game for the best of 7. This is exactly what we were hoping for here. So yeah, good stuff. Really, really nice. And of course, down at the bottom of the map, they're chasing Bishops. Oh, and they get him. Maiev is dead. Malfurion again with the heals of Tranquility. And now they're pushing for the fort at the bottom. They could send somebody towards the top in order to get the second beacon. 94% by the way. Insanely close. So they only need it for a few seconds. But they're hoping to take the fort at the bot lane out even without the help of the Zerg wave. They're looking at a follow-up kill. There's the taunt, light bomb. But Mirrodin pops Avatar and he still still dies. It's still not enough. Look at Vala though. 200 stacks. She has Manticore and she is just crushing the numbers. 54,000 damage for her. Gavlo is absolutely crushing it with her. They go for boss, they go for the beacon, they want the whole shebang, and it is, I mean, it is going to wreck them now. With the fort at the bot lane probably even gone before the Zerg wave makes it in. I mean, bot lane, there isn't going to even be a Zerg wave. The boss is now going to move onto lane, but they're going to lose so much here. Now, Vala is apparently going to try and defend this one. At least the fort is going to get destroyed. Nobody's moving to the top. It seems like they're just trying to push with the boss at the bottom of the map. Top side, Blaze is just, yeah, sitting along here, but not really committing too much. He's the one that has the easiest time moving away from this, and he will have to. Gets disked on the other hand, but Medivh is ready, can help out, has a ley line, and just look at Maiev. She was already insanely low. That Zerg wave is doing work. At the bottom, the boss has taken out the fort over here. It's the wall that is, of course, suffering. And they're starting to push in, but at the bot lane, we already have Vala and Garrosh in position, so they're going to try and do their work now as well. Break both of the walls open as the forts are destroyed. That allows you to go for the keeps later on. And it's essentially what they're trying to do here. Boss at 50% HP. So, yeah, there's the chance right there to make a play for the keep if they can, for example, get a kill. Now, if it comes to that, if they can really get the kill, it's a different story. But they can at least take the keep down a notch. Now, the fort at the bottom of the map on the radar side has fallen as well, thanks to the Zerg wave. But Mirrodin dies again, and it's just too much. It's just too much. Vala's single target damage is now such a problem for them. She's at 62,000 damage, is way ahead of anybody else. Nobody even comes close to it. Not Chromie, not Hogger, not Maiev. They go for... Talking Maiev. They go for her and kill her. Hogger is down too, and this keep is not going to make it. Neither is Renella. Anduin is down, and they can easily go even for core here. Well, they could at least try. Death towers are low enough. 5-man team wipe. And half the team seemed like they wanted to go for the core without taking the keep first. That doesn't work. You got still open the lane up. Now Mirrodin is back in 3. Maiev in 14, but I don't know how much time the core really has here. And if Mirrodin just moves out for one moment and then gets hit by Garrosh, then I guess he's going to be there too. It's already hit here. Vala immediately working it. Look at Mirrodin. Mirrodin just disappears. He just disappears. Vala's at 256 stacks and has Manticore. She is crushing every single thing that she can hit a couple of times. It's nuts. Core is going to go down. That's a win. That's a W. The Raiders, they are going to take the lead here. It is... There's nothing else that can happen here anymore. Vala's just padding her stacks right now. She just wants more damage. That's all that she does. She's at 80,000 damage. They go for the core. That's game. Vala with a triple kill to finish it off. They win Brax's holdout, and the Raiders take the lead in the best of 7. GG.
Before we head into game number 2, make sure that you subscribe to the channel if you haven't done it yet, so you don't miss out on any future content here on Khaldor TV.
Aldrich Pass, map number 2. So the Raiders, they have taken the lead. The 10 heroes that were played on the previous map are of course now out. They can't be played again, and I would say that Team Ash is very happy about that. First, that Medivh is gone, and second of all, that Vala is gone. Because, oh boy, did they get wrecked there towards the end. Now, the interesting part with this is that there's also Maiev now off the board. So Maiev is also super against... There's a couple of players that really love to play Maiev and they're very good at her. And outside of Ultralisk, for example, who already got dropped out in the group stage, we now have Bishops on the red team side. So most of the time, when you have a really good Maiev player getting the hero, then you know, okay, this is going to be disastrous and very likely we're going to lose here. But the Raiders just won against it. So this is already one hero where they know that it's a huge power play from their opponents that they don't have to worry about anymore. And they won the game. So doesn't get a lot better. And this is really a great start. Stuff like that really helps them. Aldrich Pass, another big map. And I want to see what the teams can now pull off. And also what the Raiders have up their sleeves. Globals are still available. You have the Haka, you have Falstad, you have Samuro, you have ETC Stage Dive, Brightwing. So you can still play a whole lot here where you're trying to control the map itself. And for Team Ash, I need to have a little bit of a... Yeah, and a little bit of... Something has to change here slightly. The previous series that they played was great, but right now they need to step it up a bit. The Raiders are definitely not an easy team to beat. But if anyone can do it here, then it's going to be Team Ash. Because again, keep that winner bracket final in mind. And if you haven't watched it yet, I highly recommend that you go back before you continue with this and you check it out. Because, oof, it was good. Also, by the way, we're talking about YouTube right now. So there's like 3 things. A, check out the Meta Madness playlist on the YouTube channel. B, if you haven't seen it yet, the best offline event that we had in the last 7 years or so was last year in Berlin, Nations Cup offline final with Korean and American teams. So check that out. There's an entire playlist. The grand final is, I believe, by now the most watched Heroes of the Storm video on my channel, and for a very good reason, but I would recommend that you check the playlist out. We had an audience there. We had multiple caster teams. It was amazing. So the playlist is there. Have a look. And if you're watching this on YouTube, I know that most of you guys have not subbed to the channel yet. So hit that sub button. Also hit the like button. 100%. If you like Heroes of the Storm and you want to see more content, you want to see more tournaments, then show some love and hit that like button and hit it hard. Rega and Diablo. Talking about hitting things hard. Diablo is going to look to hit some things hard. Just smash their head in the wall. Like we saw in that Genji video. It was actually the D.Va announcement. D.Va was probably the worst thing about that video. I mean, by far. It was epic until she arrived. Hanzo, Jojo, and Uther. So, got Johanna for Aldrich Pass. Which also means that she's not going to be available anymore if at any point we're getting to Tomb of the Spider Queen, where she obviously is a high priority pick. So, yeah, well, with Diablo and Rega, that is another hero that they're also picking away from Renella. This is the one thing, this is one of the things, by the way, that I love so much about the rule that we brought in, that you cannot play hero more than once. You can really look at your opponent and think a little bit about, okay, what do they want to play? What are they trying to look for? What are preference picks for them? And you can obviously ban them in a draft, but you can also just simply pick the hero for yourself. So in the case of Rega, this is a hero that Renella has been playing consistently. He loves to play Rega. It's one of his favorite heroes. And teams have really started to take it away for him. Just pick the hero for yourself. Rega is always nice. Pretty much everybody can play Rega and is fine with it. And maybe at some point you don't have really a preference of what you're going to pick, but hey, there's this one hero that your opponent really wants, and you can just take it for yourself. And then it's out of the entire match, and your opponent can't pick it anymore. As an added layer of strategy and tactics, I really like that. I think it's awesome. And we've seen that several times now. Nano loves, for example, Hanzo, picked away. So there's this added component now all of a sudden where you have to really think about, what does our opponent want? What are we willing to give them? Do we pick something away from them? So it's pretty awesome. It's, yeah, I really like it. And the added benefit is that you only see hero played once within the series. So that's pretty sweet as well. We get Urel, we have Junkrat. Yeah, Urel from the side lane, always neat. Bit more interested what exactly Morenas is going to pick for them. And Gavlo, are we going to get Tracer here again? He loves to play Tracer, but in... Nice! Jojo side lane. I love Joanna side lane. I can go on an absolute rant about this. I love her on the side lane. Yeah, we're going to talk about this in the game, but this is awesome. I like that. I think this might not quite be the game to bust out your Tracer. I know that Gavlo really wants to, but you have Uther stun against you, you got Jojo against you, now there's Stitches in. I would be a bit careful. I mean, there's some juicy targets over on the right side, but still, does he really risk it here? If he gets stun locked, he's dead. And he goes Zeratul instead. Yeah, a couple of the same problems apply, but they got some tools here. Void Prison into Rocket Ride. We had it already once. I don't think we're going to get it here. Ooh, Void Prison Apocalypse Rocket Ride. Whew. Alright, now we're talking. Either way, game number 2, everybody. Aldrich Pass. Game number 2, Raiders against Team Ash, and yeah, we got a lot to talk about. Sven on Zeratul for the blue team. We got Krankel on Diablo. The Raiders have taken the lead on Brax's holdout. We have Hunter Orc on Rega, Nano on Junkrat, and Gavlo on Urel. To the right side of the map, Mitra and Johanna gonna play the side lane. I'm gonna talk about that in a second. Renella on Uther, we got Lopaka on Hanzo, Bishops with Stitches, and Falstad gets played by Morenas. So many facets to this. Now, obviously, we have very likely another hook play. Hook into Gorge. Falstad can create an isolation by using Gust against the rest of the team. You're using Uther for stun, Jojo for slows, and then you just try and take the target down quickly. So this is already one of the elements that we have here. What I personally really like, and I honestly went on rants about this in the past already, I really like Jojo as a side laner. Now, she's never gonna win a lane for you. Jojo's never gonna be the one that sits on the side lane in a one-on-one with any of the real side laners and off laners, and all of a sudden, you know, takes towers down and pushes for the fort itself. But depending on how you play it and depending on who you're up against, you're not necessarily losing the lane either. And that's already a big step here. I mean, that is also one. Taking down Diablo is a good start, and now they're trying to go for Hunter Hawk, but he at least escapes. So what does Jojo actually bring? Jojo has... Normally, what do you want from your side laner? You want AoE clear, check. You want to have some self-sustain, check. And you also want to have the mobility to get out of fights, so you want to have some escape. Check as well. You have Iron Skin that allows for basically most of these things. You can go even for your level 1, the Laws of Hope, if you want to. In this case, not done. Zealous Glare instead. But survivability on Jojo is there. She can play around her shield. If she goes into the extra heal that you get with the Laws of Hope, then you also have some added self-sustain on the lane. Which we get from most side laners there. And then you have the big advantage that in late game fights, you have all of a sudden 2 real tanks in your combo. So that is going to be big, because have fun breaking through that. You get the additional CC, you get the tankiness, and the utility that, of course, comes from a pick like Johanna. If you go up against someone that just murders you on a lane and a side lane hero that you just cannot handle whatsoever, then you are going to lose ground, but you are going to get quite a lot back in the late game. So should Jojo be played in every single composition? I mean, obviously not. But as the occasional pick, she can be fantastic. And I love that they're trying here to use her. And it leads to another kill. They got more CC, they got more slows here, and that's 2 kills to 0. Both times Diablo died. And it is looking pretty darn good for Team Ash. Another hook. Gavlo gets hit. He's playing Urel this time. Sven with Zeratul roaming. And let's see if the Raiders can turn it around. If Team Ash is going to take a W here and ties the series. Because essentially this is, of course, what you're now going to try and do. Don't let your opponent move too far ahead. It's the best of 7, so even if you're falling behind with the 2-0, it's not really a total disaster. But still, gotta be careful on this. Falstad also with globals, that's another one. Always gotta be a bit careful around that. Make your global plays, make sure that you're controlling the side lane, push them out, get the extra experience for the team, and assist whenever you need it. I might try now down at the bottom of the map, and it's all about the minion waves here. You can see that the two of them are not attacking each other. It's all just trying to take the minions out, get the lane pressure going, and that's all that you got to do. Very early commitment actually to the camp. So normally we're not seeing prisoner camps attack this early in the game. Normally they wait until level 7, sometimes even level 10 until anything happens here. But in this case at least, they're making some moves. And it seems like Bishops is gonna fall. Yeah, he's getting pushed into a corner. And he's still alive. He's still alive. He just doesn't die. Finally. Finally is gone, but Rhaegar is also dead. Level 7 talents for Team Ash, but Zeratul wants Hanzo and he gets him. But he also gets murdered by Johanna a moment later. So they are trading kills. 2 kills against 2. And there was a camp in the middle that has continuously pushed and pressured the wall. So this one's destroyed. Easily gone. And yeah, here we are. With the next play for the prisoner camp. 10 stacks for Zeratul on his level 1. He also now has Wormhole, so the added mobility is now coming in for him. And he's immediately moving back down to the bottom of the map. Another hook, another hit, and Gavlo should be able to jump out here. Killing Urel is always more than tricky. Super tough. But yeah, she gets away from this. Hanzo is completely done with his level 1 quest already. We have Diablo also stacking up. And at the bot lane, yeah, nobody's dealing with Zeratul just now. I suppose that Falstad is eventually making a move. But right now, that's not a thing. So they're going back into the fight against Crackle. And Diablo, yeah, a lot of terror on my ass. Weak Kitten is more like it. I mean, he's just rolling over. Wow! And then gets crushed. That's 3 times that he was destroyed. Killed 3 times already. Another hook. Damn. Oh, these hooks are amazing. So is Nano. Surviving this? Damn. Pretty sexy. I like it. Yeah, but they might lose the objective now. And that's a bit of an issue. Nobody... Okay, Nano's moving in, I guess. They need a bit more than that. Yeah, that is rough. That's really rough. So, okay, they're losing the first objective. Zeratul is also dead. 6 kills to 2. Objective lost. Raiders are gonna come in. And this is gonna be rough. This is really, really gonna be rough for them. Level 10 abilities. Raiders, you're already losing ground. Good luck with all of that. I mean, how do you bring this back now? Yeah. To say that it's going to be a bit of a challenge is, I think, understating things severely. Because you're going to lose some structures here. Maybe you can save the forts, but you're going to lose those walls. And the momentum that is in the hands of Team Ash now is pretty big. So, yeah. They got a huge momentum swing in their favor. And yeah, time will tell what they can do here. Top side is already being completely opened up. At least level 10 abilities are ready for the blue team so they can defend. Which means that we have Zeratul now with Might of the Nerazim. And on top of that also Lightning Breath. Okay, so things are coming together for them. But can they take a fort out? Probably not. They opened essentially all of the walls up. And now the fight in the middle is already spreading out. Where they could theoretically try and make a bit of a play. Maybe not yet. Let's see. Attack is coming in. Divine Shield is also out. Okay, so they had to use that. And yeah, the hits coming in up at the top. Still looking to see what else they can do here. Specifically, of course, since they want to have a couple of kills to push this. And it looks like Mitra is a bit low, but he survives. But yeah, not too shabby. So yeah, they're still looking tight here. I mean, down at the bottom of the map, Urel has now taken control again and is going up against Falstad. But yeah, up at the top, it's Zeratul that is still fighting it out with Johanna. We're looking at the damage numbers for just a second. We're currently having 24,000 as the top damage dealer in the entire game. One level behind? I mean, it's not even. It's just half a level that they're behind right now. So, half a level behind all of this. It is fairly close. I mean, yeah. I'm not quite sure how far they can go with this. If they can just close that half-level gap and then get some kills, it would be nice, but they're losing ground. The blue team has to be careful that they're not getting snowballed, is essentially what I'm trying to say. And making a couple of moves around the boss could definitely help them, but the problem is also that Bishop Zip at level 13 is now getting the additional range for his hooks, and is already waiting for another good gorge. He connects with Diablo, but is not gobbling him up yet. Zeratul is not with the team, so he's at the top, and they're still pushing in the middle with the camp. But this is getting easily defeated by the fort alone. Yeah, and there's the range increase. So now we have good old Stitches with the additional range, and that makes him so much more dangerous right away. So, yeah, times are a little bit tough for them. Level 13 is ready, all the way at the top. Sven starting to move in. It's the same play that we've seen before. Just focus on the minions as much as you can. Everybody is also waiting for the objective here. The blue team is not too far behind. They are about to hit level 13 themselves, and that is definitely going to help. But they still have to see what more they can do here. I mean, again, you need kills, you need something. And there's Diablo being gobbled up. Falls that if he can fly in, could gust, and he's already making a move. A little bit too deep, but gets a good gust off, and that isolates Krankle. They're trying to save him here. Rhaegar, did he even try to use his Ancestral? I'm not so sure if he thought that a normal heal would be enough, but now he's finding himself in the corner and is not using his Ancestral either. He knows that he's going to die here. But I suppose that he either thought he was able to save him without using the Ancestral, or he just got stunned before he even clicked it. Because he got hit by that stun hard. Not using the Ancestral for himself was definitely the correct choice here. The cooldown is just so much higher that you're burning than he himself. But yeah, down at the bottom of the map, we're now having also the next boss taken. This is actually the first one in the game. 8 kills to 2, more than a level lead now. Things are not getting any better for the Raiders. They had a fantastic first game, but now they are just eating dust. They're eating dirt. The hook, the arrow! They're crisscrossing the beams over here. Yeah, they've never played that Atari Ghostbusters game. So now we got 2 kills to 8, and the fort at the bottom of the map might be the first one to fall in game number 2 of this best of 7 series. Yeah, they push in. If they commit to this, they can definitely take it. But there's also a camp that has been claimed once again by the Raiders, so they have to deal with it, or they're going to take too much damage on the mid lane fort. But this one is still going to get destroyed. So yeah, first fort has fallen. Good for them. And still the attempt to push out the top lane a little bit, see what they can do here. Zeratul is busying himself time and time again on those lanes. You've seen it on the minimap all over the place. He's just middle, top, trying to get the wave clear going. But it doesn't change the fact that they're heavily behind. Gorge has been used, but they can't get a kill. They at least are able to bait out the ult on Urel. But of course, 16 talents. Pulverize is such a big deal here. Benediction as well. Massive talents for the team. And, well, let's see how far they're going with it. Because they are aiming for another objective. They want another one. They want another set of Raiders, and these will hurt so much more. We're now 11 minutes into the game. Second objective is definitely stronger, and since the walls have been opened up on these forts, they can go for them 100%. 38,000 damage for Hanzo. Ancestral already out. Has been used. The Riptire comes in. Good damage against Lopaka. Not enough to kill him, but Hanzo's low, needs to be cautious. If Zeratul comes in with another quick blink, then he's gone. Great wall stun by Diablo. And he gets hooked, and Krankle dies again. 5 times that he's now fallen. Zeratul, nice! Sven, great kill by him. I just not sure if he's going to be able to get out. Might of the Nerazim gets used. He gets stunned. Where are the heals? And he's alive. Rhaegar's been gobbled up. That's why we didn't see a heal yet. And Sven gets out with a sliver of health. How is nobody else dying on the red team? That's insane. That's just insane. Once again, Nano jumps out. They go for Renella. And finally, they get another kill. Finally. I mean, damn, it was about time, right? So, the Raiders with level 16 now. But oh my god. These battles. They nearly closed the gap in experience, by the way. They're super close on it. It's not even half a level anymore. But yeah, I'm really liking the plays from Sven as well. With level 16, he went into Master Warblade. And him crushing Hanzo and then following it up. Not only surviving, but also doing work here. Ooh, they're definitely starting to bring the pain. So, yeah, it was honestly a really nice move the entire time on the side of Team Ash. But the question is still, can they get further with this? What else can they do here? Because what they need to do is they need to reclaim their momentum. They've already lost it, right? Momentum was amazing for them and they dominated things, but now they're losing some ground with the last few fights not going their way. With also pushes coming on behalf of the Raiders. The consistent camp pushing through the middle and damaging their fort. So this was the move back into the series and into the game for the Raiders. Now it just comes down to the next objective and also a little bit to Zeratul, because not only does he put pressure on the topside fort all the time, but he's also the one that would likely try and go for false set again and take the chicken down. Yeah, so there's another one. Another attack. Urel, she has an ult, should be fine here even if she gets stunned. And, well, there's the ult, and Urel is trying to get out of this one. Ooh, runs into the gust. Yeah, that's the end. They go for the boss at the top, and they're gonna get it in time. At least they should. Yeah, Hanzo's not gonna take first arrow. Gets hit. Falstad came in too. And he jumps basically to his death, if not for the Divine Shield. They take the boss. Ancestral is too late. Rhaegar's a little bit stingy today. Doesn't want Ancestral too much, but the boss is at least taken. So they got that. I mean, now it's 11 kills to 4. Team Ash, they've done exactly what I said a second ago. You need to regain the momentum, and they've done it. They might still lose that fort at the top, as only False that is currently defending, and guess what? Nice, nice! It's a trap! Oh, God. This was awesome. Uther just waiting for Zeratul to appear. The fort still falls, but the entire play there was to try and bait Zeratul in and make a move. Nicely done by Renella. I always knew that he was a master baiter, and he did that perfectly. Unfortunately for them, they didn't have enough to really lock him down longer. Sven was cautious and they didn't have the damage there either. Objective now taken. So they have the second set of Raiders. And again, this one is gonna hurt. Now they're gonna lose forts. They already lost the one at the bottom, but it's not going to be the only one anymore. We're 15 minutes in, and these things hurt. Yeah, they hurt a lot. So, how much? That is to be seen. But yeah, the birdie is up at the top again. Falstad, as usual, still has to be very, very careful how he plays this one. Because if he is getting if he's playing this too risky, then he is going to get crushed. He's trying to defend this, of course, first. That's basically all that they gotta do. Defend, 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 defend. Try and somehow salvage the situation as is. But yeah, that's a 4 destroyed at the bottom of the map. They're pushing for the keep even. And yeah, in the meantime, what we're getting is Gus being used, isolating again Diablo, and he dies. Dibbles is gone, Zeratul again not with the team. They have to defend the rest as well, but they have to be everywhere, and this is probably the biggest problem that they have. There's too many points to defend. The opponent has level 20, Uther has redemption right now. They're having to protect the middle. The fort at the top got safeguarded, and with the bottom keep falling, that means that now the first armor shield on the core is actually removed. But yeah, it's all over the place. So right now, 20 is in for one team, the other one's still fighting in order to get the experience here. They hope to save the second key, but they only have 3 defenders. Both Rega and Diablo are dead, and Rega is missing a lot of Ancestrals here. I mean, he's getting shut down. There's a lot of Gorge involved and a lot of hooks involved too, which put targets out of range. But they destroy the fort, or the keep in the middle, so that's 2 armor shields gone, and the Raiders are absolutely down on their last leg with this one. They at least have level 20, and they're soon going to have everybody back up on the map. But if they want to have a chance to come back into this game, they need to force team fights, and they really need to crush them. Diablo got a bit unlucky, by the way. He was at 95 stacks when he died, so only a few more, and he would have been back immediately. Maybe that would have been enough to save the middle keep. Maybe not. I mean, alright. Either way, there's the hook, and Urel immediately just moves back from it. 50,000 damage for Junkrat, 64,000 damage for Hanzo. And it's the bottom boss that they're going to try and fight over, as it seems. And just as a little bit of a side note, keep in mind what Team Ash likes to do on bosses. They like to throw there. So, yeah, careful. Very, very careful. Arrow is out, so that's already getting hit. Now we have still a chance to go for the battle. The hook is missing. Maybe they can go for Jojo. That double tank play with Johanna initially playing side lane and now just having 2 full tanks in these fights is working extremely well for them. Johanna hasn't died a single time in this game. Stitches has always been only been crushed once. So yeah, they have trouble taking these guys down, and for good reason, of course. Play for the boss at the bottom of the map, and they're just sitting around there. Yeah. Zeratul has to start and move in. They're going to try their best in order to stop this, but Stitches with hook after hook, and even if they don't connect, it always puts the fear into the opponent's heart. They get Diablo, he tries to Hellgate away, and Krankle gets hooked again. He was safe, he was fine, and then Stitches YOLOs out another one, hits the hook easily, of course, in that choke point, and that's another kill against Diablo. Dibbles is just getting murdered. No chance for him. He's getting totally crushed. 14 kills, 2-4. And now it's time for Zeratul to die. No, sorry, for Urel. Urel is also dead. Zeratul is sitting there and he's thinking, yeah, I'm not going to touch this with a 10-foot pole. Arrow gets at least dodged, so Hunter Orc certainly saw that one coming. Might have to use his Ancestral right now. And, well, nope. Used it once, but it's not enough to save Zeratul. Diablo is coming in. They're falling apart, guys. They're absolutely falling apart right now. I mean, Team Ash is really farming them. It is way too much. Dibbles is about to go down here. They can go for the boss and then go for core. Junkrat gets out. Hunter Orc is sitting there. But with Diablo dying, that means that only 2 heroes are still alive on the map. And this is going to be the death blow. So, nicely done. 4 kills, 2-17. And they are looking fantastic. So, yeah. Full-on stun chain. I mean, again, we saw it earlier when Urel fell. She had absolutely no chance. Like, Usa came in, used Benediction, they got the double stun there, they have Jojo sitting tight. So, full CC, you can't even move, can't even do anything about it. And now we have Urel back up on the map, but of course the 2 armor shields have been removed earlier and the boss is now marching in, so it would be an absolute miracle for them. There's again Gorge, they go for Junkrat, so he dies as well. That's the first time that he falls, and it's just nasty. Great play by Team Ash, fantastic game by them. Big arrow, hits 3, not that it matters anymore, I mean they're just farming. They're really just farming. Team Ash goes through the Raiders like hot butter through cheese here on Aldrich Pass, and they're gonna tie the series. 5-man team wipe, everybody gets murdered, 21 kills, 2-4, and this is game. Nicely done. Team Ash takes the victory on Aldrich Pass and ties the series with the Raiders. GG. Game number 3, Garden of Terror, is our 3rd map and the series is tied the best of 7. Team Ash against the Raiders. And this is exactly the series, at least so far, that I wanted. They're going back and forth again, the same as we've seen in the winner bracket final, which of course was fantastic as well, and you should check out if you haven't seen it yet. But now that we're heading into our 3rd map, question remains, what are the teams going to do right now? What is going to be the big play here? Stitch is already being played, Jojo. And I really like the way that they played the Jojo side lane tank. I really, really love her. And of course in the big team fights you could really see that the additional stuns and the CC that she brought helped them a lot. It was really difficult taking him down. Diablo was just suffering the entire game. I mean, I really felt sorry for him at some point. The Ancestors from Rhaegar oftentimes came too late. Sometimes he was stunned, sometimes he was out of position. Not necessarily because he positioned himself badly, but because these hooks kept coming. And Diablo died 9 times in total. Didn't quite make it into the double digits. But, yeah. Abathar gets banned. Not okay with this. We need the slug. We need the Slapather in the house on Garden of Terror. Now, this is also a map where, of course, you want to have camp clear, right? You want to go for those mercenary camps. You really want to take them out. Sonya is oftentimes being played for that reason here. Jaina, when we're talking about damage dealers and mages, like she's really good on camp clear with her rotation as she's coming in. And, well, Genji gets banned. So does Sylvanas. The problem when you're banning the same heroes over and over again, the way that they do, is that you're kind of digging a bit of a hole for yourself, because it means that you have to get rid of them in nearly every single game that follows, because as more heroes are unpickable because they got played, these are getting stronger and stronger in comparison. So it can become a bit difficult later. As long as the teams are switching between first pick and first ban, it's not really that big of a deal. But yeah, this could have an impact later. Dehaka, since this is a big map and since all of what I just said plays a big role here, so he gets banned. And now our first pick. This is also a map where you could play Samuro again. I think this is one of the reasons why Abathar was actually banned, to make sure that nobody... It's not really a Samuro counter ban, but it's something that bans at least a Samuro Abathar combo. So you at least have that. It's something that particularly the Bratwurst boys have been playing a lot. But right now we have Brightwing as the first pick. And the first double rotation for their opponents. What does that leave us with? Renella might be pushed to his limit here at some point too. They've already started banning certain heroes out against him or taking them away. So we'll see him on some interesting choices as the game continues, I want to bet. And then again, they actually picked Lily in the winner bracket final. Yes, we had Lily in the winner bracket final. You heard that right. Varian and Greymane. Now, for everybody that is still having hopes that we're going to see bounties being completed this early in the game when other heroes are available, I assure you this is not going to be a Twin Blade Varian. It was actually the funniest one in one of the previous series where they picked Varian and then an actual tank, and then Varian held back his level 4 talent for ages, and everybody was just getting out of their mind thinking that it would be Meme Blades, and then he just simply picked Smash. So, yeah, didn't pick Taunt, but Smash doesn't count. Sergeant Hammer and ETC. Okay. Yeah, Hammer time. Alright. That could be... I mean, honestly, this is a big map. You can do a lot with Sergeant Hammer. But they can also play around that. Varian Greymane is already indicating that they want to go for a kill comp and really take some targets out. But if you have Greymane here, you can also easily go for structures. Now in comes the Viking ban. A hero that I think we're going to see one way or another if this goes the distance would be Cho'Gath. And keep in mind, we are going to get a minimum of 5 games here. This is a minimum. With already a point for Team Ash, 4-1 is the best that one of the teams can hope for. So 5 games means lots of heroes that are unavailable and lots of stuff where you have to adapt. Tyrande, she gets banned. They don't want to have that variant taunt into Tyrande stun into Hunter's Mark, and then Greymane comes in and chops things down. But there still needs to be a little more wave care. Greymane is great whenever he goes on camps, on lanes, structures, it doesn't really matter. But they need a bit more here, and also they still need to determine what exactly their side laner is going to be now that they know they go up against Sergeant Hammer. Gul'dan, okay. Gul'dan and Stukov. So very, very traditional variant comp here. Variant into Stukov Lurking Arm is about as standard as he can get. This is something that specifically Hazu and Bad Benny have played over and over and over and over again with Washed Up. I mean, there was a time when Benny basically picked nothing else but variant whenever he had an opportunity to do so. And he had a lot of opportunities. So yeah, they love to play that. When was that? 2 years ago? 1 year ago? Something along those lines. Tracer, finally for Gavlo. I already called it earlier that he definitely is going to want to play her. And on the last map, the team on the other side definitely did not make for an easy Tracer game. So here he feels he has some better chances of doing that. And they get Rexa together with it for the side lane. Meaning that ETC is really going to be the main tank for them. But it leaves us with Bishops. The final pick. I mean, on a different map I would have said Kerrigan. I guess they can still do it here. But they go Leoric. Yeah, they need the side lane. Garden of Terror, everybody. Map number 3 in our best of 7 series between the Raiders and Team Ash. On the left side in blue, here in Garden of Terror, we have the Raiders. With Krenkel on ETC, Nano on Sergeant Hammer, Sven is playing Rexa, Gavlo is finally on his Tracer. It was inevitable that he would play the hero eventually. And Hunthawk on Brightwing. Now the Raiders, they have taken the lead in the series in game number 1, but then on the second map, they felt the wrath of Team Ash and got crushed. So now on the right side, we have the blue team with Renella, oh sorry, the red team with Renella on Stukov, Morenas on Gul'dan, Maitri on Varian, Lopaka on Greymane, and Bishops is playing Leoric. So let the games begin. Level 1, we get the easy Prey. And Sergeant Hammer is going to be sitting at the bot lane for the beginning of the game. Scavlo is just like zipping around here and looking for some targets already. So, how far can they go with this? All the way to the top, we just got Rexa. Rexa on the doubloon down at the bottom of the map. Nano is firing away. Gul'dan is trying to do his best and is also trying to get some Echoed Corruption stacks while he gets the free shots. But if there's nobody else, then yes, Sergeant Hammer will take down that wall. Specifically because in the middle, the 3v3 is playing out. But yeah, good damage. Pretty decent damage here. Both walls have been nibbled at. This one is also opened up, so you have even some side lane control that you can use on top of that too. But yeah, we got Sergeant Hammer still being hit hard. And Nano is going a bit down. I mean, again, it's just like a couple of stacks for Gul'dan. It's nothing really too insane. You normally want to do that in team fights in an ideal world. When that mid lane brawl, for example, happens in a 5 versus 5, it's great for Gul'dan because he just sits there, throws stuff out, and he's just like, alright, let's get some damage in. In this case, it hasn't really happened for them, but yeah. Always something that they could, of course, eventually then do. And help Gul'dan to get to the stacks that he wants. Specifically on level 16, when you're trying to go into Ruinous Affliction, this is normally when you're looking to have that completed. But yeah, it's early game. Everybody's just going for a couple of camps here and is starting to make a few plays. But so far, so good. I mean, right now, pressure play down at the bottom of the map as well. And let's see how far they can go, because it seems like Gul'dan is going to have a bit of a problem since Brightwing is coming in. And his problem is a severe lack of hit points, but he survives through it. And they nearly kill Tracer and or Brightwing, so that was a lot closer than I thought it would be, I gotta say. Yeah, that was really clutch. That was interesting, to say the least. It felt like they could have killed someone there. But alright, either way, no matter what they've been doing here, we still have the attack in the middle. Taunt is now up, so that's another play that's available for them. So far, so good. Get some taunts in, try and put pressure on the Tracer. So far, we haven't seen a kill, and as I say that, Brightwing gets crushed by Gul'dan. Only a dead Fruit Fly is a good Fruit Fly. Eliminate the Fruit Fly infestation, get the Exterminators into the house, and well, that's what they are currently trying to do here. So yeah, so far so good. Making a couple of moves on all of this one. But let's see how far they can going, because Sachinhammer still at the top, is still firing away here, and is starting to soften up another wall. We've already seen this a couple of times right now where they were trying to take these out, and the top wall has taken damage. Down at the bottom, a simple play can be done by Greymane, of course, too. So that's another one. With Greymane potentially moving on to structures to drop them, is usually quickly resolved as well. Now, in addition to that, there's another quick slide. Level 7 is now in. They get the advantage, and they're going for Brightwing again. So once more, the Fruit Fly has been eliminated. Yeah, neat job. Nicely done. So, can they maybe go for another attack on the fort itself and drop this? Doesn't really seem like it. But with 2 kills to 0, the momentum for Team Ash is definitely there. So this is a bit of a... No, I mean, it's not really a problem, but it's definitely a bit of a concern for the Raiders right now. They've already lost some walls, they lost some hit points, and they're going up against a sniper composition, which makes Tracer's life harder, and they're trying to exploit that right now. With level 7, you at least have Hover Siege mode, but you still have to be careful with the bottom fort here. There's a lot of pressure against this, and yeah, gotta be cautious. So here comes the taunt, and as I said, especially Tracer is not gonna have an easy time. She gets killed, taunt, follow up with a lurking arm, and that is the end, as predicted. They nearly dropped Nano as well, so that entire bot lane is now wide open. It's hard to push into Sachinhammer, but it is still... They are the ones that were thinking that they would siege up and really do the work, but instead it's just the opponent with 3 kills to 0, and now getting more and more control in all of this. So yeah, not really all that easy for them. It's also a leading experience that, of course, just gets expanded by everything that they're doing here. Stacks for Gul'dan might not be amazing, but we went over the reasons earlier. He's mostly stuck on a lane where he's going up against one single target. They let the seed go regardless, just because the position is so bad for them. And they didn't really feel confident enough going for it just yet. Also, keep in mind that the death timers are low. You also are close to level 10. And I think this is going to be the end of Sven. If they hit level 10... And yeah, they don't even need it, or do they? We get March. What? Okay. Bishops is going March. March of the Black King. That talent is just, yeah. Big meme talent in my eyes. And Tomb is great. I could totally understand that you are maybe dodging out on the Entomb if you are all of a sudden looking at Anduin on the other side, right? But now they're just going for March, and hey, I mean, I'm game. If you want to get some damage out and you want to have some fun with it, I'm not going to say no to that. So you go. You just show them what you're made of, and if you can get a kill or two, I'm not going to complain. I'm going to be here. I'm going to enjoy the show. But maybe level 20 is also going to get the lead. For now, he gets punished for a bad talent pick and gets destroyed here. Might try with another taunt. They have taken the fort at the bottom of the map out, though. Greymane rotated in. Not a problem for him. So yeah, easy peasy. Gets the hits, and therefore fort is destroyed. But the attack in the middle continues, and Mai try low and dead. Body blocked and murdered. Didn't leave him a chance there. So yeah, unlucky for him. But on top of that, we now have also the pushback out. Leoric is also dead, and it seems like the Raiders are finally showing a bit of heart here. They're getting another kill, probably... No, they can't take Rayman out. But it's already enough that they got there. So they got their kills. They have Nano now with level 10, also looking at the Napalm Strike. We got ETC with Mosh Pit, and they are doing work. So all of a sudden, they are the ones to really push it. Want to go for Morenas again, can't get the kill. He has a Death Wish, doesn't he? I mean, dude, just waited for a heal at least. Holy shit. So there we go. They get ETC at least. Maybe they went a bit too deep. Didn't even get the fort. They could have gone for that. It's yeah, I love the series. It's an awesome grand final already. I mean, let's be honest about this. The 1-1, the two maps were kind of fun. Now on game number 3, it's just again this back and forth, and it's just so reminiscent of the winner bracket final. It's so entertaining, and I just want to see what happens as we're going deeper into the series, because as you have to pick some other heroes, this could get extremely wild, and I'm totally here for it. It's already a blast to watch Team Ash in the best of situations, but if they are forced into some other team compositions, it is going to be mega interesting. So yeah, let's see what we're gonna get with this one. I mean, right now we have 3 kills to 5. Level 13 talents are in. That gives us 8 hungers. They're also getting the health stone. The taunt. Can they go for the follow-up? They need the damage here. ETC, yeah, it might be in trouble, but at the top there's another push happening, and this time it's the camp. It's Greymane. They're making these Greymane plays. They're getting Greymane on structures. I've been talking about this in the draft and the game. Once that you have him in Worgen form and you rotate him onto structures, he is ripping everything to shreds, and that's what they're doing. There is the counterplay at the bottom of the map, so each team loses a fort. Given the situation, I still want to call it a bit of a small win for Team Ash, specifically because they also had an experience. But yeah, it is glorious here. 5 kills to 3, everybody's just going structures, everybody's looking for more kills. It's a seed against the seed. But there's the second one for Team Ash. So now they are in a situation where they could get the first set of Garden Terrors. There's a taunt, and Stukov wasn't ready for a lurking arm here. There's Tracer with the damage. Yeah, they're trying to also zone out Sergeant Hammer a bit with this. But the one that has a real problem is Greymane. Mosh Pit! Ah, and the Horrify. Beautiful. Tracer's gone. Stukov dies. But they're likely going to get Krankle too. That Horrify was absolutely brilliant. Yeah, Krankle is going to die. He can slide down there if he wants to, but he is going to fall. I hope. No way. What an escape. That is big. Huge. Nice. Yeah, the taunt is still there. The fort in the middle has now also fallen. ETC apparently still... I mean, honestly, ETC now is dead. I think he was safe. ETC was looking really good as he escaped, and then he said, you know what, I'm gonna take a bit more of the same. Leo gets at least killed, but yeah, they're all over the place with this game right now. Attack after attack, and this is how it started. Look at the Horrify. Check this out. Bam! Insta. And they get Tracer shortly after, and yeah, we all know what happened to ETC there. Great escape initially. Now Sven is dead, Rexa gets taunted and killed. It's 8 kills to 5. They nearly have level 16. And this is looking like it's gonna be the first set of Garden Terrors for Team Ash. I don't think that this one can be taken by the Raiders. So, yeah. Nope, there it is. Leo is back. Garden Terrors, ladies and gentlemen. And that's the chance to push maybe even for the top side keep. You have level 16. You also have Garden Terrors, and you should be able to get a lot of momentum going, specifically since you also have Siege Giants. So down at the bottom of the map, that's where the first defense is being set up. The fort in the middle is obviously gone, but now they have to try and get some more. One fort would not be enough. At least open the walls up a little bit and use that. But at the top, there we now have Bishops pushing once again with the rest of them, opening up the middle a little bit. Yeah, I mean, they are going to look for another kill here. 16 talents already. Ruinous Affliction, by the way, gets the full synergy since the level 1 quest of Gul'dan has been completed. There's level 16 for the Raiders, so now they can start fighting back here. Again, with the ult of Rexa, as they are starting to make their way forward. Misha is looking to connect another stun, I suppose. Very ambitious bear, but yeah. Rexa, careful, and this is fine. Oh, Misha, this is unbearable. She nearly made it out, but then just barely on the last moment, Gul'dan came in and took her out. But I guess bear with me here, because I think it was not impossible for her to escape if Rexa just took a little bit more care of this. But yeah. Right now. Oh, the slide. Does he have Mosh Pit? Nope. Yeah, he does. They're not using it. They still want the camp, but nobody takes it. Push into the Mosh Pit. And then Stukov helping out, but Varian is dead. So is ETC and Gul'dan. They're trying for Tracer, and Greymane gets killed before he can come in with a final auto attack. So, yeah, 8 kills to 9. Big shove. Get that out of here. Stukov is a man that has just so much power. 5-man team wipe. I mean, he literally shoved a tank out of the fight. That's what we got here. So, now they have 4 heroes on the map. There's a seed spawning, but what are they actually going to do with this? The problem that they have is they can't even do a lot of damage. I mean, they can maybe take the wall out with Sergeant Hammer, but it's not like they have Greymane here or anything, and Varian is back in 6 seconds. So yeah, with the entire team destroyed, I would at least hope that they get towards the keep and can take some damage on it. I mean, that's the minimum, right? So yeah, big fireworks between the teams. Massive. And the damage output, 53,000 for Sergeant Hammer. The only one in the entire game that hasn't died yet, by the way. Nano is still the only survivor here. Talking about surviving, Gavlo has his problems trying to pull that off. Think about how good an Entomb would have been here, by the way. Think just about how good an Entomb would have been right there. That would have been fantastic. Tracer gets wrecked. Cavalry is out. It's just back and forth. We have 20 kills already. 20 kills, and the seed is now going to be taken by Team Ash. They got the keep down to 50% of its HP. It's all that they were able to do here. The seed is taken, but yeah, the game is just fantastic. Insanely funny. I mean, just one hit after another. Time and time again, Team A wins a fight, Team B counters, and then it goes all back and forth, and they are just not stopping with any of it. It's beautiful. It's absolutely beautiful. Attack after attack. Now they're making moves for the camps again. Obviously, Leo, then also with his level 20, will have to make a bit of a difference, because so far, I gotta say, I'm unimpressed. March of the Black King. Yeah. Massive damage. Oh, wait. No. He didn't. But now the teams are hitting Storm Talons, and that might change things. So, yeah. Storm Talons are kicking in, and that for Leoric means, of course, Burning Despair, given the choices that he already made. Haunt for Gul'dan. And Greymane, after going for the throat, is he going for Hunter's Blunderbuss? Likely. Yeah, well, Death Metal is in, so they need to be careful when they're going for ETC from here on out. The Ultra Capacitors have also been taken, and here comes the push for the middle of the map. Seed is up. There's also a camp at the top, so they're starting to siege up on this one. Or at least they were hoping to do so, but just falling back for now. And ETC looking for that power slide to victory. And Greymane still hasn't made a choice. Greymane still has not chosen anything here. And the seed, I mean, if they're taking this one, that's the second seed for them. This is the 5th in total that they picked up now. 5 seeds in total for them. If they get another one and they get another set of Garden Terrors, you can guess how this goes. Destroying the walls to limit vision on the map. And yeah. This is so dead. Even look at experience in the kills. It's nuts. Okay, there's the upgrade. Goes into Unleashed. Greymane with Unleashed. There's the Boars. Talking about unleashing things. So yeah, he goes straight for kill command here. But they are easily able to walk away from this. Not a problem. So a couple of ults already being used. Actually only one essentially from Rexa. And they easily dodge that. Now the seed is spawning. Position much better for the Raiders. But it's also something that the Raiders have to get. Or it's going to be another set of Garden Terrors. Alright, the attack at the top. Misha's already down. There's the Drain as they are going in with Taunt for Tracer, but Lurking Arm was used before. Hammer gets pushed out, and it's just drain, 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 as Leo is now at 40,000 damage and still hoping to push them back. But since they are pushed back, if that seed is claimed, again, if they're taking this, then it's a set of Garden Terrors. They have to prevent that from happening. They can't let that happen. Garden Terrors would drop at the minimum a keep. Probably more than that. So Leo again, and they have it! They get them! Garden Terrors are in, and honestly, at this point, somebody please call Peter. Because there is, the entire time, just one kill after another against Misha. Rexa is just not taking care of this. Actually, Peter is useless. I mean, honestly, have you ever looked at their Twitter? It's a total joke. But if you really want to laugh, look at their Twitter. It's hilarious. But yeah, somebody should call Child Social Services or something, or whatever it's called. Because that's exactly what's happening here. This is heavy neglect that we're seeing from Rexa. Keep is gone, and the Garden Terror isn't even here yet. It is at the top, though, and that's where Tracer and Sergeant Hammer are defending. At the bottom of the map, it's also going to take some time, so yes, they sacrificed the Keep with this already. And yeah, there we go. But seriously, I mean this. Go to the PETA Twitter and check it out. It's fantastic. They want to try to eliminate certain words from the language because they think it's like insulting to animals. Like two two birds with one stone, stuff like that. They want to get rid of it. It's amazing. Like, yeah, they honestly at some point they just went away from trying to protect animals and they just went full comedy, and it's fantastic. Horn is in. Is this it? They're going for the key. They're going for EDC, and he's dead. He has his 20. And Greymane dies to it. So does Leo. So does Gul'dan. What a level 20 talent by ETC. It's insane. They're losing everybody. 5-man team wipe. Awesome. Brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. Check this out. Everybody got pushed in. But all the keeps are falling now. And I don't know. I don't think they can end. Like, they're crossing the map to end. But can they? Well, the keep is low. 30 seconds for Greymane. I guess they can end. I mean, they have to. They got Sergeant Hammer. They have to end, essentially. The Team Ash. No. Leo is back. Leo is back. Come on, March. March of the Black King. Kill them all. There we go. Slam it, baby. Slam it. Drain it. Drain it. Go for Nano. He needs to kill Nano. Greymane, 6 seconds. It's so close, but I think they have it. I think they have it. Nano's about to fall, but the rest of the team is still there. Sergeant Hammer is dead. Greymane is back. Do they really? I don't think they have it. No, they're losing. They're losing. They're losing 9% on the core. What are these games? Oh my god. It's too damn good. The entire day. It's brilliant. It's absolutely amazing. How are we getting such good games today? The series before, now this one. How many cores have we now seen below 10% just in the finals alone? It's too damn good. I mean, it's the only play that they had, but Team Ash is going to take the lead here. ETC, if he dies, I mean, there's the mosh pit already. If he dies, he's going to trigger another one, but this time nobody falls for it, and that is it. That is game. The blue team loses on Garden of Terror, and Team Ash takes the 2-1 lead in the best of 7 series here at the grand final. Nicely done. 15 kills to 17. Awesome stuff. GG. Battlefield of Eternity, our fourth map, our fourth map in the best of 7 series here at the grand final of the Banshee Cup, everybody. Now, Team Ash has taken the lead. It was a bit close there, though. At the end, I mean, how many cores have we now seen under 10% in the finals of this tournament? Insanity. So this time it was the Raiders that just didn't have enough damage to get it done. So Team Ash could cross the map and take the W. Finds himself in the series now, and how far can they get with this? Now, 30 heroes have been played and cannot be played again. This is starting to play a bit of a role. Since we're heading into Battlefield of Eternity, you also have to ask yourself, what are the damage dealers that are really good here, right? So, just an example, we don't have... Hammer is not available anymore. Vala isn't available anymore. So there's definitely a couple of damage dealers that you normally get on Battlefield that are not available any longer. Greymane is another good example. So you can of course still get a couple of heroes to poke from a distance. We have Lunara still up. You can go Jimmy with Exterminator, which would be a bit more of an old school one. So you really have to see, okay, what are we picking here? What is still available? What we're still happy with? If you want to go and rush the Immortal down, do we just go for a couple of melee heroes and try and use those and play a triple front line, or do we still find some poke here? I mean, the traditional picks would, of course, as always, be something like you go Hanzo, you go Li Ming, Vala again, if she's available with her arrow build, is something that you would traditionally try and look for. But they will have to adapt accordingly. Zarya already getting banned. So yeah, nobody wants to risk anything too crazy here. And, well, let's have a look at the final ban before we're going into our picks on this one. And chaos will continue to reign. Now, this is also a map where we have in the past seen Suljin, and I personally believe that Suljin is going to make an appearance in this game eventually. Maybe not on this map, but later on. Oriel gets banned, okay. Simply because Suljin can be fantastic when you stack him, and he can be a monster fighting through those team fights, and Battlefield of Eternity is a very brawly map, so Suljin is an option here, and has been played plenty of times in the past in similar situations. Then, of course, on the melee front, you still have Artanis that you can also go for. The more side laners you ban, the more viable Artanis gets. I mean, again, he has the nickname Trash Tanis for a reason, but if you get rid of side laners and then we're late in the game, then all of a sudden he becomes a valid option. He definitely brings something to the table. It's just always a question, is there another hero still up that is extremely good? I mean, you're not going to pick Artanis over Blaze, for example. So, yeah. Chen is appearing so often right now, by the way, that he is now even getting banned out, and this is one of the prime maps for him. With Lucio as our first pick. We're now getting Tyrael and Genji. Alright. And Tyrael, you could even go Judgment. Now, we've seen Judgment a few times now. You could definitely do that. Get Tyrael and with Judgment, Genji following up on it, but of course Sanctification, depending on where you're fighting, is also pretty strong. Probably a stronger choice. Cassia still up, so she gets claimed now for Gavlo. And yeah, with that, Dehaka. Yeah, Dehaka finally makes it in. Dehaka and Urel were banned so many times previously that now we have finally Dehaka on Battlefield. It's kind of funny because he gets played a bit more here, but it always brings me back to the very earliest time of Heroes of the Storm, and the game just got released. And Dehaka was played on Battlefield of Eternity to get you a level 10 advantage for the second objective, and teams were trying to snowball it behind that. So yeah, that happened a lot actually, and it was pretty cool. But anyways, Mal'Ganis gets banned, and our final ban for map number 4. Looking at Bishops still and also thinking about what he's going to take here. Bishops was always one of the interesting ones on this, and he hasn't busted out his Karrigan yet. I didn't really expect Karrigan to be played here, but with Tyrael in the mix, if he goes Sanctification, that would really empower some Karrigan players. So I guess technically they could try and do it. I thought they would save Karrigan for a later map. Sylvanas still gets banned. It is her own tournament. It's literally the Banshee Cup, the Cup of the Banshee Queen. We're in game number 4, and she is still getting banned here. Feels bad, man. That's a shame. Okay. Double pick for the red team. They have a chance to heavily pull ahead now. If they're taking a second win in a row, a 3-1, that is a lot of match points that you have there. Li Ming, Ana, so we're going to get the nano boost for Li Ming. This is a solid lineup for them. This is a really strong one. I mean, you got Tyrael there, Genji, Li Ming, reset City. If Li Ming gets her kills, Genji can reset the Swift Strike. So that's pretty good. And then the blue team, still looking at Nano, and also what kind of frontline they're going to play. Yeah, Tyrael has already been chosen. Can still go for triple frontline and, for example, drop Imperius into the mix. Arthas and Samuro. Arthas, again, I like the Arthas plays that we've seen, but most of the time when Arthas was really successful, we haven't seen either against Illidan or against Greymane in the tournament. And that helped a lot. Then you can control those heroes just perfectly, which is what they've been doing. So, yeah. Final pick for map number 4, Battlefield of Eternity, as we're continuing with the best of 7 grand final between the Raiders and Team Ash is Sonya. Let's go. The 4th game of the series takes place on Battlefield of Eternity, and well, usually it's exactly what we're getting. An internal battlefield where everybody is just at each other's throat and looking for kills. On the left side, Crankle with Arthas for the Raiders. We got Sven on Samuro, Hunter Orc on Lucio, Nano on Cassia, and Gavlo is playing Dehaka. To the right side of the map, Team Ash, ladies and gentlemen, with Renella on Ana. We got Morenas on Tyrael. Ana with grenade build right now. Maitri on Sonya, Bishops on Genji, and Lopaka on Li Ming. So this is going to be an important one for the Raiders. I mean, it's one thing if you're falling behind by a map, but it's a completely different story when you are all of a sudden 2 maps behind. You have to win 3 in a row. The Raiders have, of course, pulled that off already. against Team Ash. But in the best of 7, that adds an additional strain, and it will be tricky. So winning the game here would be super important for them, just to make all of that happen, to get into the flow of things. But already a mad brawl, and another kill. Yep, looks like it. Tyrael went back in. I guess he realized at some point, okay, I'm dead anyway, so he wanted to get the explosion value. But that is first blood for the Raiders. So, sweet. Oh, Nano nearly dying then again. Arthur's this time as the main tank as well, but we should be in for a bit of a banger here. The entire series has already been a blast, but now the question of Team Ash can pull ahead once again, or if they're gonna be shut down here. The camp gets very quickly targeted. Yep, they're moving straight in for that, trying to take the camp out, and so far, I guess, so good. Looking for a bit more on this, especially since, of course, the idea is always kind of maybe even get a kill here, kind of maybe make a move and yeah, get something else done. I don't know, take a camp, take a tower down, anything. Sven with a little bit of an issue here, apparently, but I think they're going to be fine. So yeah, whoever was struggling, I don't think that's too big of a deal, but the entire team is now down at the bottom of the map. And, well, with that, Tyrael, he's going to be the one that I'm going to be looking for. We had a couple of Tyrael players already, and one of the issues is oftentimes that you are struggling getting your sanctification out. I mean, for Arthas, for example, we have the Frost Presence again. He's been a complete CC machine during all of this, and usually his problem is that he has a tough time getting into the opponent's midst or out of it. But in this particular case, we are also looking at Lucio that can really help him out, just speed him up and get him either out of harm's way or help him to chase people down. So one of the biggest downsides of playing Arthas is therefore mitigated, at least to an extent. Sven at the top for the late game could be a real problem here too. Might try with a spin to win. He's gonna try to play this out, as down here the party, yeah, it just continues. They're trying to go for Cassia, and damn, they're getting her easily, I might add. Yeah, easy kill against Cassia. Girl doesn't stand a chance, so that's the counter kill. The first blood on the side of Team Ash, and not bad. I mean, that one was definitely coming in at a good moment too. Renella. This is a funny mount combo. Mount plus Anna. Just Anna sitting on top of the Triceratops here. And Lopaka. So now the team with level 4. We're getting the debilitating dart from them. And yeah, time will tell how much damage they can do with the first Immortal, always assuming that they're going to get it. They have a good chance though, because they have a nice setup against it. For the first objective, my bet is definitely on the red team. But time will tell. If they lose a fight, for example, then obviously it's not going to work out for them. But yeah, let's have a bit of a look. For now, it's level 4 talents on each side, as you would expect. That means that for Arthas, we now have Deathlord in. They're still playing it out all the way up at the top before the Immortal is actually spawning. It's going to come into play in just a second, though. Bishops is already jumping over as they're hoping to grab Lucio here, but Hunterhawk is a little bit too slippery, moves out and escapes fairly easily in that situation. So the attacks, they're still coming. Now they're starting to just chase them out. The Haka is moving towards the Immortal at the top. Actually, he's moving towards the lane because there's still a mercenary camp that they got to deal with. Same has been done by Sonya down at the bottom of the map. And the attacks are coming in again as they're going for Morenas and Bishops. Yeah, all of them are getting dropped insanely low, but they are also the first ones on the Immortal now, it seems. So Muro on one side and the rest of the red team on the other. But they are dropping very low here. Specifically Tyrael gets another shield out and somehow escapes. Good for him, but that was close. Way too close for comfort. I don't think that he is a fan of that. So now they have Samuro on one end. Lopaka is just firing away with Liming, one combo after another. And the halftime show goes to the blue team. Not by a big margin, but still they are able to win it. So blue team takes the initial lead on this. With the repositioning of the two Immortals, red team is straight away trying to make their play. But the Haka is still up at the top. And even Samuro is now moving in, at least only with the copy. So the Haka is going for some towers here. And maybe even hoping also to get an early level 7, which is definitely in the cards considering how things are currently playing out for them. Yeah, so another move being made here. Already at the top. Oh, this is a drag! And the kill! Arthur's down, Anna down, Cassia is gone. Samuro is still fighting, but so is the red team, and they're gonna take it. So this is the first Immortal for Team Ash. But yeah, that got wild. Anna down, Cassia down, Arthur's falling. Now level 7 on both sides. So, yep, they are going for big aggression here. And for Dehaga, we got the Feeding Frenzy. Arthur's also with Immortal Coil, so he has moved away from some of the talents that we've seen previously, especially Frozen Wastes, for example, on level 4 is something that he doesn't necessarily need considering the situation. They are not going up against Greymane this time, so they don't have to control the auto attacks to the same extent. Can, of course, always make that argument for Samuro, I guess, but it's not quite the same. Now, good damage at the fort. They're not going to take the entire thing, but they will still do some solid work here. Taking the wall down is already big, and now they remove roughly 40% of the hit points. But the chase is on. There's the Tong, and bye-bye Li Ming. Nicely done. Great coordination once again. First it was Arthur's with the Howling Blast locking Li Ming down, and then just after that Dehaka moved in, and after that teed up pick he just connected the Tong, and that's a kill. So 3 kills to 3, and even a bit of a leading experience for the blue team. So yes, the Raiders are slightly ahead in experience. Well, half a level nearly, but structural damage was definitely already pretty decent. So on that they are doing well. But talking structural damage, it's not only the red team that is making some moves there. We also have from the blue team plays being made down at the bottom of the map as they are pushing in for this. Yeah, try and get the attack done here, chunking that down. 9.5 is now in, all the way up at the top. Gavlo pushing back out, Maitri, Bishops. They are both still guarding the camp, which also creates a bit of a number disadvantage at the bottom of the map, but they've been dealing with it so far pretty solidly. Now, 10 is close, but both should have it for the objective, which is the more important part here. Sven, low, and yeah, he's getting away with one of his copies, but this got real close. And they were thinking about even going for the Haka here, but Sonya is also not really that healthy any longer, so she has to move back there too. The same is also true for the remainder of the red team, and down at the bottom of the map the fort has been pushed, so it's always a question on how much of the damage you can essentially do here though. But yep, this one is rather low, and now that Tyrell is moving in, we have level 10 abilities. That means Syndragosa in the case of Arthur's. Seen it a few times now. Helps you with an immortal push and also can lock targets down as you're going for the big team fights. But then again, for the red team, they're about to get their own heroic abilities. Samuro with Illusion Master over Bladestorm this time, and that's essentially what you would expect. Sanctification is now in. So on top of that, we're also having Sonya still holding out on a potential leap that she could play here. X-Strike, Wave of Force, and she goes Wrath of the Berserker. The halftime show victory for the blue team, as we've seen in the previous encounter. But who knows, maybe they can now do a bit more here and start to take on the fight. Arthur is, by the way, nearly done with his level 1 quest, so that's going to be neat for him. Yeah, he's going to lock everybody down on the trail of the Howling Blast, not only the end target. But off we go. They're still defending nicely. They have to deal with that camp at the bottom of the map because this could destroy their fort if they are not paying attention here. So yeah, bottom of the map, most of it is gone. Still some damage on the fort. They're going to suffer through that. They have to try and defend, but here comes Syndragosa, and Dehaka comes in as well. X-Strike already onto the point. They're looking for Arthur's. Cannot quite take him on though. So yes, Arthur's is still alive. This time they couldn't get the kill all that easily. But here comes the play for Tyrael. Sanctification saves him. Oh, Lucio, a little bit too ambitious, my friend. He came in from behind and started to annoy the hell out of them, but then they just came in and dropped him. So once again, we're having the Raiders losing 2 of their heroes as Cassia gets dropped. And that means another objective in the hands of Team Ash. That's going to be the second Immortal that they're claiming here. As Sonya is getting dragged around. Honestly, that's not something I would want to put my tongue on. I mean, you know, no. Just, dude, no. Dehaka, come on. You got better taste than that. I know you're a dinosaur and everything, but hey, at least have some standards, alright? So, yeah. Either way, with level 13 up at the next talent, still going to take them a while. Samura is now pushing all the way topside, but the more important part is obviously that we are now going to get the immortal push at the bottom of the map, and this is where the real party starts essentially for them, because now it's time to try and take down one of the forts. And we have Mai Try defending up at the top, but the fort at the bottom of the map is definitely going to get crushed. There's no saving this one. So 5 kills to 3. We have level 13 talents coming up next, even though it's still going to take a while. But there's no denying who is going to now do more damage on that wall even. Because Sonya is rotating back down. They haven't lost anybody yet. Well, and as I say, Anna dies. So, yep, now Bishops is also low. He still gets out, but Sven wants him. And Sven is maybe gonna get him. Nah, he's gonna get his ability back. Lopaka, on the other hand, yeah, he might get killed now, and does. So, the Immortal has still done damage. The Keep hasn't taken any. Sonya is pushed at the top for another fort. So, overall, I would still say a successful Immortal push. You take a fort down, you damage the one at the top thanks to Sonya. Then again, you're taking the wall at the bottom Keep. Losing 2 heroes in the process, definitely a bit of a setback, but something that I think they can be okay with. We get the Spelling Salts again. On top of that, we're also getting Illusionist. And Arthur's still holding back his own level 13 talent, so we haven't seen that yet. And talking Arthur's, he's dead. So that went quickly. Just as they got their kills and thought they had maybe some momentum regained on the map, they're losing Arthur's, and with him gone, that's always a bit of a setback. So yep, Arthur's eliminated. And now at the top, Samuro is trying to do his thing and at least get them a fort or some damage, but that's also not going to happen. We have a few reinforcements coming in. Lucio is the first target and gets slowed down already, but of course they're going to go for Sven whenever they have a chance. And Sonya has moved down to the bottom of the map, so it's basically just a switch. Sonya, bot lane, is now going to ensure that they're going to be able to do their thing there, aka push some of the waves out, make a couple of moves for the Keep again, try and damage it, just some minion waves, just a couple of mercenary camps. Damage output is at 40,000 for Li Ming, 32,000 for Cassia, and they are going for the brawl again. This is coming as advertised. Game after game, we've seen them fight, and this is one of the top maps for exactly that. Genji gets caught and gets killed, and the timing couldn't have been worse, just as the Immortal is about to appear on the map. So yes, bad news for them, and the attacks just keep coming. Dehaka had to rotate back down towards the bottom of the map in order to defend, but it's Immortal time, and you are fighting a 5 versus 4. Samuro is now starting to come in. Dehaka can do the same thing, but yep, good luck holding all of this, because now it gets a little bit tricky. They have to try and... I mean, halftime show victory is always just one thing. After repositions, if you can still go for the battle, great. But there's also a level 16 talent that might become a problem as the game continues, because depending on how long they delay this, depending on how long it lasts for the Immortal to be grabbed, this could come into play. Halftime show is given up, and Dehaka pushed in another minion wave at the bottom, so there's like multiple things now that Team Ash has to take care of. I'm not going to be too happy about this. At the top lane, they are trying to respond in kind by eliminating the minion wave, and that should then allow them to force some pressure onto the top side fort. Dehaka, at least, will have to retreat for that. But again, it just accelerates the problem that I spoke about earlier. You are now in a situation where your opponent is soon going to get level 16, and you just don't. And Samuro is pushing at the bottom of the map with another mercenary camp. So, Team Ash is in a really awkward spot. And level 16 is going to be there in just a couple of seconds. And then they're going to be willing to fight. The fort at the bot lane is already about to get dropped. Here's the attack. Valkyrie! Nice dodge. Well done. That was a really good Valkyrie dodge that they just executed there, because if he gets hit, he is gone. On top of that, with 16, we're now also getting Embraced Death. But, yeah. The objective is gone. That's a big one. That's a big Immortal. So, the Raiders, ladies and gentlemen, inching closer and closer to potentially tying the series again. We've seen it a couple of times. Could see it here again. Yeah, those two teams are absolutely evenly matched, and it seems that nobody can pull too far ahead. At least it seems like it for now, especially since Genji gets killed again. Damn, like this just can't happen. It happened just as the Immortal spawned, and now it happens again as they're trying to defend against it. Genji is griefing. Yep. That's, by the way, the only 2 deaths that he had so far. It's not like he's getting murdered over and over and over again, but he just died now twice in a real unfortunate situation where the timing just did not work out whatsoever for them. So, 16 versus 16. Another drag, another connect, and Tyrael is just dead out of nowhere. Nano boost on Li Ming. Not that it's really going to help them too much, but yeah, they're losing another one. It's a disaster. It is an utter disaster. The Raiders are on the march to a potential, maybe not victory, but at least keep. 9 kills to 6, 5 versus 3 on the map. And it's just the Haka. Gavlo has been hitting so many of his tongs here. He's been hitting one after another, and it nearly all the time led to a follow-up kill. Now they're going for Li Ming, who's dead. They're going for Bishops. That's Genji, and that is game. Yep, that's game. Full 5-man team wipe. Tyrael made it back in, but with the Immortal still on 50% HP, this is obviously a foregone conclusion from here on out. So yeah, they can kiss that game goodbye, and we are going straight to game number 5 with an even score in the series once again. Game number 5, Tomb of the Spider Queen. Yeah, it seems like we're going blow for blow, not only in team fights during the game, but also in the series itself. Our best of 7 is now heading into the 5th map, so we have at least 2 more maps. Tomb of the Spider Queen was actually the final map of the winner bracket final, where the 2 teams met against each other. And Team Ash really tried to throw it hard, and they weren't successful the first time they tried, but eventually they were able to throw the game. So yeah, it was a game of throws for sure, and this time they're hoping to do a little bit better there. Now, to be fair, they haven't picked the map. It was actually the Raiders that picked it. Cho'Gall gets banned now, okay. Yeah, don't forget, we have 40 heroes that are now unavailable. 40 heroes cannot be played again because they have already been played previously. For a 5th map, that has a bit of an impact. 40 heroes gone means that you're left with roughly 50 as we're heading into game number 6, which is definitely going to happen. I mean, again, this is not going to be the final map one way or another. It will have more of an impact even there. Sylvanas gets banned, Cho'Gall gets banned. Teams are obviously fighting for the prize money here. As I said before, we have in total for the tournament here $2,500 of prize money, and all that thanks to Kevin Zubsaikiv, who is still supporting the hell out of the esports scene, keeping it alive here. Something that Blizzard has long time already given up on. After Cho'Gall, even Oriel gets banned. And that leaves us with our final pick. So, let's see. Final ban. Pick, ban phase, all the same at some point. It's been a long day. It's been a long day. It's actually kind of funny because you're always setting days up in a certain way, and today we had like 3 matches planned, yesterday 2 of them, and ended with like a 3-0, so all of a sudden it was a very quick one. Today is just literally going 1 game 5 mapper, the other one 4 mapper, this one looks like it's going the distance as well. So yeah, the differences are absolutely incredible. So, now we have Suljin banned out. I'm actually not liking this ban pattern at all. Like, what is this shit? Like, look at this. Why are they hating fun? Sylvanas banned? Really? Suljin banned? What? And now you're also banning good old Cho'Gall? I mean, come on, boys. What is going on here? I'm not quite sure if I can really endorse that kind of behavior. I need to talk to the admins. I mean, that's a yellow card and a half. So, Anubara gets picked first. He's the first one to be taken. And there we go, Mephisto and Zul. Yeah, again, things are now starting to become a little bit interesting. When you're going to game number 5, for sure, there's certain adjustments that you need to make. Keep in mind that when it comes to the main tank plays, they've also played double main tank earlier. We had Jojo and Diablo in the same game. Were they in the same team? I can't even remember who the Jojo played with. I think it was Jojo Diablo, or did they go up against Diablo? It doesn't even matter. I think it was Jojo and Garrosh. Ah, whatever. So they played a double tank, which means that there's one more tank now removed, and you can already see Imperius being picked. And Imperius is also somebody that oftentimes gets picked as a main tank. So I'm just saying, there's a chance that at some point some things can get out of control a little bit. And that's just what happens when you limit the draft pool a bit. This is what Meta Madness is all about, obviously, where we not only have the rule that you can only pick a hero once, but on top of that, you also have up to 20-22 pre-bans. Then things escalate mega quickly. If your only draft rule is, as it is here in the Banshee Cup, that you cannot play hero more than once within the series, that has not too much of an impact until you get to the game number 5, 6 or so, but it still will affect the later maps of a series and make things interesting here. And that is, I mean, it's still a good comp, right? We're having a Nuburak and Imperius, that's solid, you have Deckard Cain behind it, so this is nothing to just shrug off. But you can already tell on the bans alone that people are just looking, hey, what's available and what could really be a solid threat to us. And there's not that many counters left to Cho'Gall. You still have Tychus on the map, but Leoric, for example, has already been played. Malthael I guess is still up, but you look towards Greymane for a quick bullet and you can't get it anymore. So yes, as some of these heroes are not playable any longer, Cho'Gall becomes more and more of a threat and you gotta be careful with it. Zul, still great for the rotation, of course, so that helps. Can easily dominate 2 lanes if you want to. Morales Tyrande. Okay. Didn't see that coming. Morales and Tyrande now. Double support plus what? What are they going to play with a double support? Huh? I'm intrigued. You can play Zul as a main tank if you want to. But I don't really see what they're doing with that. Alarak and Nazeebo. Oi, 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 oi. Triple frontline with Alarak. And then we go Nazebra. Okay. Okay. Off we go. That leaves us with the final pick for Gavlo. What are they going for? If they add another support, they're working on a bounty, by the way. They could still go for bounties. Add another support here, go damage Lily or whatever. And all of a sudden, we're talking bounty for the Raiders. There's a chance. There you go, Malthael. Malthael is in. Tomb of the Spider Queen, everybody. Game number 5 in the best of 7. Let's head straight into it. Game number 5 in the grand final, and on the left we have the Raiders with Zul played by Sven. We're looking at Nano playing Mephisto. This is gonna probably be the biggest issue for the red team because his Mephisto is super solid and he's gonna try and wreck them hard. Now on top of that, what we're getting here is very quickly already Crankle on Morales. They're playing with the double support as we already talked about a bit earlier. They have in addition to Morales Tyrande played by Hunter Orc. Gavlo is currently playing Malthael, and yep, it's going to get wild over here. On the right side, Renella with Deckard Cain, Maitri with Nazeebo, Spider build, Bishops on Imperius, Morenas on Nuburak, and Lord Parker is playing Alarak. So, the comms definitely started to change a bit, and we are going to see how the teams are adapting. Late game is, of course, what Team Ash would absolutely love here. If they get into a late game, they're going to murder everything in their path. They're going to stack it up as the game continues. For now, they wanted the kill, couldn't quite get it. Double support is very good if you're trying to sustain yourselves through something here. But yeah, if Alarak gets his stacks together, he's also going for the extended lightning here. Negatively charged will kick in as his level 4 choice, and then he's going to stack it into late game. Same is going to be true for Nazeebo. So if it gets to a late game here on the map, the red team should be able to crush this easily. And they are crushing already good old Malthael. So Malthael is gone, and that leaves the top lane very much alone for Imperius. So yeah, Imperius has his top lane control right now. That's great for him. Everybody else is still playing it out here in the middle as Nazeebo is now rotating from one lane to another, always in an attempt to get his baseline stacked. I mean, that's what you want to do. You want to work towards your Vital Infection on level 20. So the more you can stack your level, your baseline, the better. And obviously it has also like pretty sweet effects here on your mana and hit point pool. So yeah, there's all of that good stuff. Well, down at the bottom of the map, Bishops with at the top talking to Zebo. Yeah, so far not so good. He's dead. He gets murdered. They at least pick up most of the, if not all of the gems that he's been dropping. So yeah, good. That's actually pretty sweet. Get those gems at least, so that you're not losing any ground there. 23 to 21 gems now overall. Morales on level 1 with life support. And, well, they're going for their camps too. This is the map that was incredible. Actually, there were more incredible maps, but this was the final one, which was absolutely nasty between the two teams in the winner bracket final. So that was quite something. And now we're looking at the same map once again. Very different compositions and very different situations then again. But now negatively charges in as our level 4 talent, as we already talked about. Yeah, and from here on out, it's going to be stack time. And in addition, we're getting the big voodoo for the boost on the baseline quest. So Nazebo is going to get mad value as this game continues, always assuming that he can focus properly on getting stacks together, which I guess we can safely assume. So each team has gotten a kill so far. Rotations are still happening. Nobody has turned in yet. Nobody has enough gems for a turn in. But the red team is getting a bit closer here. 39 in their hands, so they're only 10 away. And then they're going to get the first objective, assuming that they can turn everything in. But yeah, the push in the middle. Camp is still available, only for the red team. Nazebo at the top at 37 stacks already. Minion wave after minion wave that he's grabbing for himself. And Renella with the power of the money pick, trying to ride with the boys into battle and get that turn in as they're zoning Gavlo away from the turn in spot. Nano, probably their biggest concern in this game. Maitrai, still alive. 40 stacks for him now, and bam, gets the rest out here too. 5 stacks also for Lopaka on negatively charged, so at least for the time being, Alarak is doing pretty okay. Yeah, it's nothing too insane yet. But again, as long as you are just consistently getting some stacks for your level 4 talent, you're gonna be fine. Sadism stacks in addition to that, obviously also super important. But yeah, work on negatively charged first and worry about the rest later. Just try to not die. That's basically the main rule in Heroes of the Storm. Try to not die. That would be a good one for people to follow. Just after, don't fight against level 10 if you don't have it yet. There's certain talent tiers where you can maybe make an exception. But yeah, essentially at the end of the day, Heroes of the Storm is a bit of a math test. That's what it is. If you don't fight when your opponent has another talent tier than you, so compare numbers, and don't fight when your opponent has more heroes in the battle than you do. So yeah, a bit of a math test, and that kind of explains why so many people are failing heavily at it. Turn-ins are now happening. 45 gems have been delivered against 33. Another 5, and they're gonna at least have the first turn-in. But it seems like Nano might just be the one to turn in his gems. And yep, he does. They're still 6 short to get the Web Weavers, but it's going for the fight. Krankle is low, and all them heals are not enough to save Morales. They Mokust Morales. That's the tip-top strategy right there. And they are able to not only take Morales down, but also Mephisto. Imperius died too though, and the blue team turned in. So while there is a numbers advantage on the map now for the red team, the blue team still got the first set of Web Weavers. And Maitrai is potentially gonna die here. Nope, they're having the potions on the ground and are able to save the day for Nazebo. Nazebo is, by the way, sitting at 66 stacks now. And Alarak is at 13. This early in the game, not bad. So Lopaka is doing some work, and the blue team would really do well if they could just snowball the game a little bit. Because if they can't snowball it, as I said before, they are going to be hurting in the late game. Already on the damage output, you can see that Alarak is doing pretty okay. He's at 13,000, which is matching more or less Mephisto. So it's not too bad. And Nazebo, he's all about just getting the stacks together so that in the late game he's going to dominate. He's more focused on the siege damage than anything else right now. Forts are still all in play. None is going to get destroyed here. Good damage again from Mephisto. I mean, Nano on this one is just a bad boy, as I've already said before. He's just crazy good on it. Spider build is more or less completed. I mean, again, level 1, the quest is done. By now we have 19 stacks for Alarak on his level 4, 78 for Nazebo, so both of them are doing just really well. With level 10 abilities kicking in, the dynamic is going to change a little bit, and there's also going to be much more of a threat potential coming from both teams, so you can easily get some kills in. we have, for now, also good old Morales with Stimdone. And, well, Loon's Chosen, Hunter's Fury, so you could actually get some really nice value also from someone like Tyrande. But I can't wait to see what exactly our boy Zul is going to pull off in a team fight once that he has a Stim Drone on him. I mean, he is just gonna murder everything in his path. You better scatter when that happens. Red Web Weavers are coming down. We have Nazeebo going straight in for the Ravenous Spirit. Yep, no Gary, no Gargantuan. Full on build, by the way, with Sapphire into Ruby, into Emerald for Deckard Cain now, and also the Stay and While and Listen, as both of the teams are essentially dead even. Yeah, ult out against Mephisto. Starfall is in play, and it's party time. Imperius connects, and they are wrecking Nano. The double support is so strong, though. It's crazy. How long did he survive there? Absolutely bonkers. They threw everything that they had at Nano and were barely able to take him down, but eventually they were able to drop him, and that was the important part. So now the Web Weavers are starting to push. Zul is their big hope at this point, and Sven needs to try and defend, but it is not going to be easy because there's Web Weavers still pushing everywhere. And with the mid lane opened up, they're already guarding the rotation towards the top as they want to ensure that they're at least going to get a fort here. But they want to go for Sven too. 13 gems for him, another root, and Sven is alive. Tyrande and Morales, just tandem, they are surviving. I mean, again, they're basically keeping everything alive here. It's crazy. And they're losing Imperius. But one fort got destroyed with the first Web Weaver wave. Bottom of the map, not even the wall has been dropped. Just as a little bit of side news for you. Opaka can turn in. 31 stacks for him. 31 stacks. He's sitting at 100 now for his baseline. And by the way, also we're having the level 1 talent completed. So he completed everything. Huge, huge thing for him to make that happen. And of course, we're still talking Nazeebo, we're still talking Alarak. So yeah, it's going to hurt. I am very much afraid for the Raiders here. So far, it doesn't really look too bad. They're a little bit ahead in experience. They are generally just working on their turn-ins. They haven't lost too many gems. So essentially, you can really look at this and you're like, what are you talking about? Like, they're ahead in XP, they're hitting level 13, they're working on the turn-in. But it's really just that late-game potential and the scaling that we're going to get from Team Ash that just terrifies me. Because, yeah, this could get nasty super quickly. Specifically with Alarak now. Completing your level 1 is big. And getting good stacks together for your level 4 is also absolutely huge. And he's been working it. He's really been working it. On top of that, you have Nazeebo at 123 stacks. So if this goes to a level 20 game, he's going to get his Violent Infection. So much is already clear. And the more of those stacks he gets, the harder he is going to be. The harder it is to kill him. And yeah, not really envying the position of the blue team. They're on a timer and they know it. 26,000, 28,000. Alarak is already top damage. And it's honestly not even close when you think about it. I mean, just in terms of percentages, he's way ahead of Zul, who is top damage on the blue team side. Yeah, they're coming into that fight again. Gavlo with the turn-in. 35 gems turned in against the 42 on the red team. Okay, next attack is already happening. Alarak with the numbers. Hitting 30,000 now. And he's sitting at how many stacks? He's at 38 now. But, yeah. Blue team, they have sustain. That's what they have. They can fight long and drawn-out battles very easily. You've already seen previously how much heal comes from Tyrande and Morales in that particular comp. But 7 more gems is all that's needed from the red team. And they want to go with Cocoon for the same combo that they executed earlier against Mephisto. Yep, there's the stun, and they fall back. Yeah, for now they're not diving in too heavily. By the way, 1 stack only for Malthael so far. So you get 1 last rights out, but now Mephisto is being hit again. Stay a while and get wrecked. And Nano falls. Nano is gone. They're trying for Tyrande now. 43 stacks for Alarak. Big damage, and that is the end of Tyrande. And Gavlo, he's been stuck on the camp the entire time, and they just take it away from him. It's just like, holy cow. I feel a little bit bad for him. He did the entire work. He even abandoned the team, so now they're all mad again on him, at him. But yeah, that is more and more ground that they're losing here, and it's again, I just don't see it. It's so rough for them right now. That the camp gets stolen away is just the cherry on top of it, because they were basically he abandoned them in a team fight just to get the camp, and as Brolin told them, is like, guys, I'm on the camp right now. But it doesn't matter. Now we have Epicenter, they're more than a level ahead. Yeah, nice play against Alarak, but he's still fine. Turns around with Counter-Strike. He's at 108 sadism now, and he is working it. There's another kill. Morales is already gone, and they're looking for more. Yeah, Alarak gets focused, last rights, and he gets killed. Loses the sadism stacks that he's been holding. Nazebo is also gone. Nicely done, finally. They're killing Deckard Kane, damn. Can they do a little bit more here? This is actually starting to look a bit better in the team fight. Now they're still suffering, of course. All of the forts are gone, including the one at the bottom of the map. At the top they're pushing, but at least that gives them now a chance to go for their own turn-in and maybe gain a bit of momentum, because again, they need it. They really need it. Get a boss, get a turn-in, just anything that you can do in order to turn the game around here. 40,000 damage for Alarak, 34,000 for Nazebo. Blue team is starting to put some better numbers up too, with 37 for Mephisto and 36k for Zul. Sven with big numbers that he can turn in now. They definitely will get that next turn in, so that's going to help them with web weavers, and then they just have to ensure that they're also taking some structures out, so that they can get some control in this game back. We're 3 levels away from Nazebo hitting level 20. That's the bad news on this. So, yeah. At the bottom of the map, they're at least going to take the Siege Giant, so that's going to push back a bit. That's going to help them significantly with Webweaver control at the bottom of the map, but they're going to lose some structures. Some are going to be lost. 2 stacks for Malthael, that's a 10-second cooldown reduction. Garflo is still sitting here in the middle. Nazebo at 150 stacks right now. And Zul is also trying to get the engage going. So, off we go. Hits are coming. They're still very, very close in experience. This is a cool thing about these two teams going up against each other. They're just insanely close every single time, every single fight. So, yeah, Zul trying to rush in. And they want an additional fort. The top fort has, by the way, been saved by Nazebo. Nazebo saved the top fort. Now they're fighting it out down here. Webweaver should not be... Well, actually, they are not going for the Webweaver right away. They're actually going for some of the heroes. So, 1 fort falls, and I suppose the top fort will also eventually get destroyed. But generally, this wasn't too bad. This could have been way worse for the red team. But the blue team is going to try and draw even now. 51 stacks for Alarak. 51 stacks. Sadism still sitting at 90. But we have also Nazebo just continuing the party. Oh, nice! Big one! Stay a while and get murdered. Good interrupt against the Zebra as he drops the Ravenous Spirit. Bishops, okay, gets out. The sustain is crazy. I mean, he loses the 19 gems now, and the sustain that we have for the blue team is honestly nuts. I'm not quite sure if I should be terrified or just shocked. But yeah, they are getting big sustain out of all of this. 47,000 damage, by the way, from Alarak. And the heals, 36,000 on both of them. So more than Deckard Kane can bring in here. Ice Block is already out. Okay, they're still on the run. Zul is coming in. Alarak, he's in trouble. And he's gonna go down. Yeah, he gets the Counter-Strike when he goes down. And there they can... My god! And Nuburak and Nazebo are both dead. And here's the momentum that we've been talking about. This is exactly what they need to do. Build momentum before level 20, and they're doing it. 5-man team wipe. And they go for the keep. The entire game they've been struggling, and now they're just bursting through the middle, take down the keep, and might even go for core? Are they going all the way with this? They have 54 gems that they're holding. Bishops is trying to slow them down a bit. And it's 20 seconds until Alarak is back. They want Bishops, they're likely going to get him, but it wastes some of their time. They go for the core regardless, and holy shit, this is big. This is so big for them right now. They're actually winning it. They made it. They needed to build all the momentum. They needed to avoid the late game, and they're pulling it off. They're actually pulling it off. One team fight is all they needed. They take the win, and the Raiders pull ahead against Team Ash in the best of 7. What a map. GG. Game number 6. Okay, so is it going to be a 6-mapper or are we going the full 7 yards? Towers of Doom is the map. The Raiders are in the lead now. This is match point number 1 for the blue team. And kudos to them taking Tomb of the Spider Queen. That was not easy. This got really dangerous. Nazeeb was nearly done with his stacks. They're getting closer to level 20. Alarak, really nice stacks on level 4. And as I said right at the beginning of the game, if it gets to a proper late game, they are just done for. They knew it as well. So they had the one opportunity in the middle. They took the team off the board. And once that the red team was gone, they just barreled through that middle of the map like their life depended on it. Which it kind of did in that map. And yeah, took the victory, took the core down and won it all. So, pretty epic. Right now we have Cho'Gall banned out, Sylvanas banned out. I got news for you. I think we're not going to get these heroes, even if it comes to a 7th map. There is just no chance in hell that they are not banning both of them anymore. Even, yeah, I mean, even with Tyke still being around, Cho'Gall is just too much of a problem if he properly gets played. So yeah, the pool is getting rather thin. There's 50 heroes that are already eliminated from the map because they were played previously. That leaves us with 40, more than enough to get a comp together, but you are starting to thin out certain roles. So yeah, in that context, Sylvanas is way too powerful. And the same goes also for Cho'Gall. If you let those through, then you are asking for trouble. So, what exactly are we going to get? What's the final ban? And more importantly, what are the picks here? It's Towers of Doom, so they're banning Abathur. And here's Kerrigan for Bishops. Insta first pick. Yeah, there's not really a whole lot of preference picks available anymore. So the few that they still have, they just need to try and get rid of them. Or pick them or either ban them out as quickly as possible. So we're starting things off with Kerrigan here. And I mean, I'm honestly just here for the party because it is gonna get wild right now. I did not think that we would go to game number 6. Look at this. Suljin Oriel as the opening. Suljin and Oriel. So they're going for the stacks here. And yeah, healers are also starting to become a bit of a problem. Whitemane is still up, Alexstrasza is still up, you still have Kharazim, you have Lily, so there's still some around, but just imagine a team now going for like a triple heal combo or something and just picking everything away. So yeah, there is a lot that they can actually do with this. So, well, right now we have Whitemane taken, again, talked already about Mal'Ganis previously, and about Whitemane as potential picks. And in addition to that, now you could ban some of the supports. Nah, I think in this game it's not going to matter too much. But honestly, when it comes, if it comes to map 7, if everybody follows the script here, then there's a chance that we're going to see something spicy where a team just tries and takes supports away. There's always, at some point, also this gentleman agreement where there's only a couple of supports still up, and you could technically ban all of them out, and if each team just decides that they're not banning supports, then everybody gets one. But if all of a sudden one team goes wild and the other follows, then you're just playing a game where there's no support on the map any longer. So, yeah. Either way, Zarya gets also banned. She is obviously a huge asset with the shields that she has. And we have on top of it also Zagara banned out. Another hero that can push real nicely on a big map. One of the potential bounties that I personally would really love for the next season, and we're still debating, is Zagara with Nidus. If you win Zagara with Nidus Network, it's a bounty. That would be pretty amazing. But yeah, no, Kharazim and Artanis, they go double support again. That leaves for a 7th map, I believe, what's still up? Alexstrasza is still up, and I believe Lily is still up. I don't know if anything else is still available on the support side, on the healer side. I guess when you talk just supports, you still have shields from Zarya and you have Abathur, but I think pure heal, those are the last 2 after this. So we could end up with a no healer performance from the teams. Khaldor. That is incidentally also a bounty. So if they win this one and we go to game number 7, this is a bounty play. So Khaldor would win them another $50 if they are able to pull it off. If they take a 3rd healer, that's also a bounty play. So we still have some bounties in the mix that they could technically try and get. Towers of Doom, everybody. The final pick, we're looking at Sven here. And yeah, it is game number 6 in the best of 7 series. It's gonna be epic. Game 6 or game 7, where is it gonna end? Who takes victory? Deathwing comes in, our final pick for Towers of Doom. Let's go. Game number 6. We are on Towers of Doom, everybody. Game number 6 in the best of 7 series here at the grand final. And boy, we are in for something special. Now on the left, we got Sven on Deathwing, Krankle on Oriel for the Raiders, Hunterhawk on Karazim, Gavlo on Sul'jin, and Nano is going into stacks with Artanis. Over on the right side of the map, their opponents, Team Ash with Renella on White Mane. They need 2 wins in a row now if they want to take the crown, if they want to call themselves the champion of Banshee Cup number 1. We're having Morenas on Mal'Ganis, Bishops on Kerrigan, and Maitrai is playing D.Va last but not least. Lopaka on good old Kel'Thuzad. So, stacks for Sul'jin. He's obviously going to be one of the big ones to watch here. If he can go into a late game and properly stack and then get the assistance of Oriel, Karazim throughout the game, then there is a good chance that they can just overwhelm them in the late game with massive damage from Sul'jin. But Oriel is already gone, and thanks to the Kerrigan plays that we're seeing in the follow-up from Kel'Thuzad, the first blood for the red team. And this is, of course, another thing to really pay attention to here. Bishops and Kerrigan. He has one of his power picks, and he is going to try and use it as best as he can. They want to make sure that Lopaka also gets them all the damage as this continues. The baseline is going to be important for that. The Master of the Cold Dark. You want to have the completion for the added spell power, and that is going to make him insanely powerful. Kel'Thuzad is also a problem, and that is that he is mega squishy. So if he gets swapped by Artanis at any point in the game, then that's the first problem that you're going to run into. And yeah, we'll see. We'll see what they can pull off. Already they're going for Nano up at the top. He's still trying to stack his level 1. Deathwing jumps in and helps out a bit, and Nano is safe at least for now. As Deathwing is going to try and take a bit of a bite. I wanted to even go for the invade on the camp at the bottom of the map, as it seems. But yeah, not able to do anything here. It's going to be a wild game. I mean, seriously, especially if this goes to game number 7. Who's going to take the crown in the Banshee Cup? Who's going to walk away with the biggest chunk of the $2,500 of prize money here? And is Kel'Thuzad going to be successful and give the red team another bounty? That's the big question. Level 4 is in. That gives us the armor of the Arc Lich and 5 stacks by now for the Sul'jin. He's slowly getting there. But Bishops is coming in, there's the combo, and can they get a kill? They can't go for Karazim, but they might be able to take Krankle out, and that is the second time now that Oriel dies. Gets the kills in, the swap attempt against Kel'Thuzad, not successful. 2 kills to 0, as the red team is hoping to equalize the score again and bring this one to game number 7. Let's go the full distance on it. Triple altar is already up on the map, and the teams are going to make their play for it, so everybody is just looking for position. Structural damage obviously still important, and they can open up the entire bottom wall, so why wouldn't you? Easily claim this one, and I suppose that at the top there's not going to be too big of a surprise. Each team will likely just channel one side of it. Kerrigan has been helping D.Va out just a little bit to make sure that there's nobody sneaking in and trying to maybe take that away from them, the camp that she was working on. But yeah, Kerrigan, actually they're all interrupting. Pretty much there's more heroes at the top lane at the bottom of the map, especially with Deathwing now coming in too. So yes, they're fighting all over the place now. With the bot lane being the next big one that they're attempting to make moves on, specifically with Morenas here putting Sul'jin to sleep. And Lopaka was hoping to anticipate that properly. Yeah, channel on the top left. Trying to zone this a bit as Kerrigan is helping out, but the first shots are being fired, so each team has gotten one of the altars, and the red team will walk away with 2 out of 3. Anything else would at least shock me given the situation here. So yeah, shots are being fired here. Still looking okay on this. And yeah, it all continues in the middle, but the initial lead, at least on the objective, has now been taken, as you can see. So yeah, they were able to get something out of that. Just easily coming through it and take the second altar. Position was just a bit better for them at the top right. Not something that you can really fight into too easily interrupted if you're the blue team. But yeah, not too much of a problem. Stacks for Sul'jin are, by the way, pretty good. 17 stacks already, 4 minutes in, range increase is there. That's nice. That is really nice. That gets you off to a great start, and he also goes for Arcanite access on level 7, so he is going to stack all the damage here. that could become a big problem as things continue. Now, Khaldor isn't looking too shabby either. He's working on that baseline and he's currently on 14 stacks out of the 30 that he needs. Suljin is faster than him, but still, that power spike that Khaldor is getting thanks to this is pretty significant. So we'll see how much he can do. But Suljin getting so much done here is a bit of a concern. And they're trying to take him down, but it's really tricky when you're up against a double support. They still manage it, though. He's on 19 stacks, but at least for now he's being shut down. But they really have to try to get more damage done than only that and build a bit of momentum on this one. Specifically, taking some of the bell towers would of course be big if they could, but they're struggling already enough as is to deal with Deathwing, who is easily flying out of the fight here. Scorched earth everywhere, and in the middle, Nano against Maitri. So the games continue. Really sweet plays being made from both sides, but only one team has gotten a couple of kills. I can basically guarantee you, though, that that's not going to last if Suljin is able to stack to continue stacking like this, because yeah, he's going to become a killing machine, an absolute killing machine. This is the one thing that I really like about Suljin, like how much of an impact he can have in the late game. 28 stacks or hit points on the core against 36. Earlier, level 10 on top of that for the red team, so that's going to help them with the heroic abilities. But yeah, Suljin is already sitting at 20 stacks. And talking Artanis is sitting at 100 on this level 1. I always felt that that level 1 needed to be a bit buffed. But if he can just keep continuing to attack throughout the entire game, specifically against D.Va at the top, then he might be able to just get it high enough to have a pretty big impact in the late game next to Suljin. So yeah, both of them could then make some moves here. Level 10 abilities for both. Tastingo obviously for Suljin. Game has slowed down for just a second a bit. And we're now getting on top of that also the Shadow Fissure for Khaldor, who is, at least for the moment, sitting on 20 stacks. And they are trying to go for that bell tower at the bot lane, so they already escorted all of that in. Blue team not really too fussed about it. They're just moving into the middle and towards the top, and they're just getting some counter damage done. But nothing too crazy. The red team is actually the one that starts reacting to it. Aegis is already out. There's an opportunity to maybe get some additional damage in. D.Va is already on it. Deathwing is jumping down. Auriel is dead again. That's now 3 times that she died. They're going for Suljin, Tastingo, and he's gonna fall. But he gets good stacks beforehand, and they're also able to follow up on his damage and take Karrigan out. So Suljin is on 29 stacks, basically on 30. Artanis has been killed in the middle of the map. That's 6 kills to 1, with Bishop's Karrigan the only one dying thus far. But how much momentum can they really build with this? This is the bigger question. And yeah, 29 stacks for Suljin already. We're 7.5 minutes in. That's not shabby. So Renella is starting to go for the channel, will be interrupted here. It's a single altar that is left right now. You can pull ahead on this, specifically now that they're also aiming to maybe even take down that bottom bell tower and work on that. But times are tough. So here's the attack, here's the move. Suljin, quest completed. Now he gets a double swing on his Arcanite axis and can stack his level 7 pretty fast as well. They're still attempting to zone everybody away from the channel point, and they succeed. So Renella is going to get it, and that's another 4 shots fired. But they want more momentum on the map. They want to get some bell tower conversions, which is essentially what you need to do if you're trying to snowball things. Damage output, 18,000 for D.Va, 17,000 for Khaldor, and Suljin is already top damage. Ahead of Artanis. Artanis has 19k, and Suljin is sitting at 22,000. Level 13 talent is something that the blue team doesn't have yet, but again, they are working the numbers up. Top side, the fort has also suffered a bit, or the bell tower, but over here, yeah, Shadow Fissure coming in again. Karrigan also looking for a bit of a play. Another hit connects, okay. And Khaldor is getting a lot done. But they want to go for Gavlo again. There's the combo, and goodbye. No, he survives. Karrigan wants him. And the Aegis! Chrysalis! The combo! He got out! No way! Gavlo actually gets out of that. The whole idea was to slow him down on the stacks, and it didn't work. Instead, he just died. If it's a trade, it's fine. But yeah, Chrysalis and Aegis used at the same time, then the combo, but there were just too many defenders at that point, and that is Kerrigan gone. Damn, that is a bit of a setback. That is quite a setback for them. Not something that you'd be comfortable with. The damage down here still being burned out. The Shadow Fissure coming in time and time again, as now Morenas is low. Will have to escape here and tries, but Renella is trapped and Heath dies first. With White Mane gone, yeah, this is starting to become problematic, to put it nicely. Because again, the Troll is stacking. And even with Kel'Thuzad now done with his quest, this is still an issue. So we got 24 points to 36 on the core, a 1-level lead for the team in blue, but yeah, sorry, for the team in red. But still, this would worry me slightly. Deathwing is jumping in deep, maybe a little bit too deep. Sven is in trouble and is likely going to die here. I don't think he's going to make it. No, Sven is down. Sven is down. Deathwing is turning into Deadwing. And now the channel over here can certainly happen, so they can get this one easily on the right side of the map. Still the interrupt with the Shadow Fissure. Has another charge left. And yeah, is getting the hits together. So he can really, I mean, you can do tons of damage with this if you play it properly. Especially when your team has a lot of stuns that they can use. Gavlo, Suljin with Taz Dingo wants to kill, and he dies. Can't get a kill here. Chrysalis against the 7-sided strike. Nicely done by Bishops. So now they have 8 kills to 3. They got level 16, and they're also getting the channel while still working on potential follow-up kills. And they get Artanis. Trash Tannis is dead. 16 points on the core against 36. The blue team just suffering here. Absolutely suffering. Now, they can still rely on Suljin in the late game, but of course you're on a clock at some point. 46 stacks on Suljin's baseline, 30 on the Arcanite axis, 200 for Artanis, and they're doing what they can to get a little bit farther in this game and finally build up that momentum. They're also taking the bell tower back at the top that was taken away from them. So now it's, sorry, the bell tower gets taken away from them. They're going to take that back in a moment, but first Diva falls. And now they can try and reclaim this. But they're also losing ground at the bottom of the map, so it's just all over the place where they're getting attacked here. Artanis is going to try and take at least the pumpkins out, so he shuts that down. But in the middle, another bell tower gets claimed, and they need a bit of a W here. They have the damage output from Suljin, that's definitely true. Artanis is helping with all of this as well. But I would be lying if I said that this is an easy position for the Raiders. They are in deep trouble. And Team Ash, as long as they can maintain the momentum, they are fine. The danger is just that at some point, Suljin is going to become too strong and it's going to stop their momentum in its tracks and turn it around. And once that critical moment is in, then you know that you are in trouble. But there's the triple altar phase, and this is going to be a crucial one. So is Suljin already strong enough? Yes or no? That's essentially the question here. They try and go for him. Karazim instantly dead. Karazim doesn't stand a chance. The double support not successful to keep him alive now. Aegis not used. And that's a 4 versus 5 on the map. And with triple altars and 5 to 3 bell towers, that is big. Big play. I mean, that's 10 points at least, given the situation that they're in. So yeah, first 5 shots are fired. Down at the bottom of the map, it's Kel'Thuzad that makes a move. They're going to be on single digits after this. And this is the comeback map in the hero pool. This is the, I mean, again, this is it. This is Towers of Doom. You can always come back here. 1 point against 40, it doesn't matter. You can always come back as long as you have that late game momentum and you build it up. But can they? That's the bigger question. So once again, Suljin with Tazdingo, and he has the heals. Oriel is dead. They need kills, and they need him quickly. Suljin is getting so much damage out, but it's not going to be enough, is it now? They want Bishops, and he just doesn't die. The fucker just doesn't die. It's insane. 54 stacks now, another 5 shots fired. That is game. We are going to the final map of the series, ladies and gentlemen. We're going to game 7. We're going to the final map, everybody. Of course it's happening. I'm not sure if I believed in it that it would really happen, or if I thought there's no way that we're actually going to map number 7, but here we are. Sky Temple, the final map. 60 heroes have been played. 16 heroes cannot be played again, and they ban out the remaining healers. We're gonna get a no healer game, which automatically triggers a bounty. So I'm gonna show you that once again. We have still bounties up. Now, if you complete a bounty as a team, you get $50 extra, and Khaldor, for example, was played on the last map, so that's already some extra prize money that Team Ash just got for themselves, no matter if they finish first or second here. So now that we have more and more heroes being reduced from the pool, we could, for example, see the no healer composition being played. So there's definitely time for a couple of bounties right now. It's gonna get epic no matter what. Game number 7. So let's check it out. Team Ash against the Raiders. And once again, they already went to the final map in the winner bracket final. And now we have him here. Ragnaros gets banned on Sky Temple. They have to ban Lily now, right? Lily is the last healer. You still have Abathur and you have Zarya. So there's some shields that you can play around with. But if we're talking actual healing power, Lily is the final one. And if they don't ban her and the Raiders first pick her, then they are the only ones that have any kind of sustain. Like real sustain. And they ban Sylvanas. Sylvanas is just too powerful. Sylvanas gets banned in the grand final of her own tournament. It's ridiculous. And now the question, do you go Lily or not? I mean, this is the moment. You go Lily or not. That's, I mean, healer or no healer? They're hesitating so much here. I love it. There's so much up still that you could go. The strategies are crazy and they go Abathur. They let Lily slide, they go Abathur instead. You could go Abathur Illidan here, by the way. Abathur Illidan is a thing. So even here, they're just shying away from a Lily first pick. They're saying, no, just no. Just for my mental health alone, we're not going to pick Lily first. We're going to go for Abathur. We're going to pick an actual hero. So, yeah. Abathur is in the house. And now, how is the red team going to respond to it? Lily and Chen. They go double panda. Oh, boy. It's double pandas. The cuteness alone is already over 9,000. So yeah, I'm already sitting here. I was like, whoo. Okay. As a double pick too. Pandemonium. They're clearly pandering to the audience. Sky Temple and Thrall plus Kira. Yeah, Kira is up as well. Okay, so you got Thrall. He has sustain. He has some self-sustain that he can definitely use here. Kira on top of this. And yeah, it's amazing. It is absolutely amazing. I was expecting Illidan. I really expected them to pick Illidan. Now, Fat Illidan is on the side of Chen, on the side of the red team. It's Chen. Let him eat cake. But yeah, Kira over Illidan, alright. And they ban him? No! I mean, Abathur with Thrall, Abathur with Kira is already tough enough as is, but the Illidan ban doesn't really come as a surprise here after what was already picked. I'm, if anything, shocked that they didn't pick Illidan right away, to be honest with you. The final ban in the final map of this best of 7. I mean, who takes it? Who wins Banshee Cup #1? Raiders or Team Ash? At the beginning of this, when we saw the qualifiers, everybody was talking about the Bratwurst boys. They are long gone. They didn't even make it out of the group stage. Now Zarya gets banned. It is such a wild one. Abathur, solo, well, support, not really heal. The self-sustain of Thrall, Kira, and boy, oh boy. I mean, by definition, the Raiders are now attempting, they're attempting a bounty. Raiders are still attempting a bounty here simply by not having a support available any longer. Phoenix gets taken. We have Chen. This is not that bad of a comp. Against a no support team, you just have to delay the game. Wow. I mean, what is the blue team picking now? What brings this together? Murky and Sagara. Oh my god. Yeah, they're working on bounties for sure. They're trying to complete bounties here. Yeah, if they actually win this, they essentially are playing 2 bounties now, which is technically not allowed. But if they're winning this with this comp, I'm going to put a good word in with Kevin to see if we can make an exception and grant them a double bounty here. Final pick for Bishops, Team Ash, ladies and gentlemen. The last pick, Asmodan. That's the next bounty. Too damn good. Let's go, everybody. Final map of the grand final, Sky Temple. We have the Vinland Raiders going up against Team Ash. Are you ready for the final map? It is gonna be epic. Look at these team compositions here. On the left side, who needs a healer? Nobody. Nan on Kira, Sven on Zagara. We have Krankle on Muradin, Gavlo playing Thrall, and Huntdog is playing Abathur for the Raiders on the final map of the series. On the right side of the map, Renella with Lily, the only healer, but not the only panda. We have Murenas on Chen, so he's coming in with a bit more pandemonium. And then on top of that, we get Maitri with May. Bishops on Asmodan, and Lopaka is playing Phoenix. Oh yeah, we're going all out in game number 7. And just look at the talents here as well. He transfers already in. We're getting on top of that Wrath from Asmodan. So they need to help him stack a little bit, and this is how you do it, ladies. You see that? It could have been done a little bit better, but the idea was already there. They're definitely going to improve that a bit with the next rotation, I want to say, but this is kind of what you're trying to do here. You want to make sure that somebody helps him to stack, and in this case, they're actually messing it up again, so you only got 1 stack out of it, but they're going for the frog, and Murky is gone. Murky eliminated. In the meantime, the top side gets attacked, and they're very quickly taking one of those towers nearly out, reducing it to rubble as we speak. We have for Zagara, by the way, Infest. So yeah, goes full Infest with all of this. And they, of course, have a lot of push power. What at the end of the day is the goal on Sky Temple? The goal is to take structures out without taking the objective. You want to just destroy them by pushing in and taking an opponent out that way, because if you do that, every time you take an objective, every time you claim a temple, the shots are going to be fired more against your opponent's core, and eventually you will just wreck them. So if you are able to take more structures out without even using the objective, it means you are going to eventually win the game just by trading objectives with your opponent's team. So that's what everybody's going to be looking for here, and there is a lot of power to outpush them. At this point, though, it is the red team, Team Ash, that is taking massively advantage of this. They've taken the gate down at the bottom of the map, they've taken a tower down, they've already made some moves in the middle of the map as well, just didn't really get all the way yet with him. But there's level 4 kicking in for them, and everybody is just going full YOLO here. I mean, this is carnage. The entire game is going to be utter chaos, as we now got Battleborn for Asmodan. Murky is starting to proxy some of the waves in the mid lane. And here at the top, they're just going for more tower deconstruction as they destroy the first, go for the gate. Murky sitting at the side is just taking out the minion wave here, which will apply more pressure to the front line. And they are not gonna stop on this one. May against the frog, down at the bottom of the map. Bishops still working it with his level 1 and his baseline, trying to stack them as best as he can. Topside gets defeated, and just now the first temple is about to get announced. We've already had gates taken out. We have the teams just fighting for every single inch of the map here, and this is just the beginning of all of it, as everybody is attempting to go for the temples now and start to take the first few forts out in this game. For Thrall, we're getting the Frost Wolf pack. We have, in addition to that, Needle Spine as they're attempting to leverage Abathur here. Asmodan, of course, as well. And there's Zagara with a creep spread all over the map. Bot lane gets defended for now. But yeah, the game it's gonna be wild. It's gonna be absolutely wild. Shots are being exchanged. Kira is the one taking care of the top lane. And then all the way down in the middle of the map, we're currently looking at Maitri and Renella getting their shots in, and everybody is just attempting to take some forts out. Which is going to be pretty easy for the blue team as things go, because they're going to be able to take this one out first, unless of course they're going to get stopped, and it seems like Nano might be in trouble here, even with the symbiote of Abathur, and that's the end of Kira. Kira goes down, level 7 talents are starting to kick in. and they are breaking through the top wall, as it seems. Murky is gone. Abathar has his mule now, so that's big. And Zagara went into the vicious acid here with the additional slow, so a bit more control from them. But the Panda has taken over at the top, so they're going to get the shots fired right here. And this is starting to become a bit worrisome. Abathar, though, gets the kill against Phoenix. Here in the middle, we still have a few shots remaining, and they're trying to take the last few. My try is locking that in for the team, and might have to pay the price for it. And yes, he does. So 2 kills now for the blue team, but they lost a lot of shots. And Khaldor, oh no way, he nearly got killed and is still alive. That archer was about to take him down. Khaldor alive, I have no idea how he got out of there. That looked like it would be the last thing that he does today, but no, they're trying to go for the fort. Nobody has lost one yet, but the red team is closest. And here comes again Abathar, but it's too much. Zagara wants a kill on Phoenix, can't get it, but Thrall has died. Yeah, he went a bit too deep of this in the end. Now down at the bottom of the map, we still have Bishops playing it out with his level 7 talent, has Bombardment by now too. So, yep, gets all of that damage in. The baseline is getting more stacked. We have Murky with Black Lagoon and also with a Slime Time. And he's already sliming things up very heavily over on the right side of the map. I mean, the whole goal is just to proxy the waves and apply more pressure to the structures, which he does. Yeah, Sven pausing the game for the blue team, just as we have level 10 abilities kicking in. So Hunter Orc, I would assume, is going to go for the copy. Would be a little bit shocked to see a monstrosity here, even though we had that attempted a couple of times. Nano and Sven still fine. And Sven also still spreading creep on the map. So doing his best here to make sure that there's a consistent carpet of creep spread all around the map. But Crankle is now moving in. I don't think that anybody can contest the camp here. They have half a level though, so with a half level advantage, there might be a chance for them to move in and get some work done. If they can get there in time, then they could steal this away, at least theoretically. Bishops, I'm not quite sure what I'm thinking about the pick just yet. I mean, if he goes into Demonic Invasion with Asmodan, then you can just go over to structures like this one. You can come in and quickly take it down. So that's going to be one of the bigger questions. How they're going to play it around heroic abilities. When we're talking Thrall, it's Sundering again. But it doesn't change the fact that the blue team doesn't have an actual healer. If you have Abathar, it's nice. And he can oftentimes be used as a solo support. But oh, once that Lily has her ult, if you are forced into a big team fight, you are going to run into trouble, and they know it too. So we'll have to see how exactly this one pays out, but I'm a little bit concerned once that Lily is able to go in with her ult and then just heal everybody up in proper team fights for, let's say, the boss, which oftentimes decides Sky Temple, of course. Alright, so Murky checks it out. They got level 10 and he goes March. We have Murlocs and we have Nidus! We actually get Nidus. They're really just trying to cheese the map as best as they can. Okay, that's gonna be pretty epic. That is gonna be sick. Nidus network for Zagara, and we're getting March of the They're gonna cheese the hell out of them. They're never gonna take any fights. I really think that it might come down to a boss play as so often, and the red team is going to attempt to force it, because the blue team is clearly just interested in playing the map and cheesing the hell out of them. Take structures down as much as they can. Asmodan has gone for the Demonic Invasion, so at least to an extent they have the same idea here. He's going to use it right there and they're going to take the fort out. But yeah, we now got Nidus, March of the Murlocs, Abathar copy, and they can do so much on that map. Oh, Kira coming in, and Lily gets wrecked. Lily is down. Yeah, well, that's one way to deal with a healer. If your opponent's healer is dead immediately, then obviously they can't heal anything. So that's one way. Murky is already making his move towards the top. Still not a single fort has been destroyed, but the temple is now up, and Thrall is the one that starts capturing it here. So yeah, he's already moving in for it. Lily is back to business, has to still move in, some damage being dished out, but Asmodan is going to be looking for more opportunities to drop his Demonic Invasion. It already did an enormous amount of damage on the fort at the bottom of the map. So there's the next attack here as they're trying to go for, yeah, well, first of all, they're trying to go for Phoenix, and that was a nice move, but here comes the ult, and that's the sustain that we've been talking about the entire time. This is going to be difficult to handle. Nano, low and dead. That's the problem. The long and sustained fights, that's something that they just simply can't handle with a composition like this. And they of course know it as well, so yeah, that's going to be tough times for them. They are all low, but the heals come in. Abathar is now dead. Sorry, Abathar is alive. Murky is dead. Abathar is healing or repairing the structures, which is essentially what he really needs to do now. But that's also why they're going to try and take it down as quickly as they possibly can. It's not really working out for Zagara, by the way, so she gets kicked away, and that's a death sentence for her. She just can't survive that. She gets a kill with Abathar, though. They're getting two. They're killing Phoenix and they're killing Chen as Zagara dies. What? That's a nice trade. That's a trade that they're definitely going to take any day of the week. But now Asmodan is also getting destroyed, and so is May. Oh my god. They are suffering way too much. No, I don't think Boss is really the play here. 24,000 damage now for Thrall. We got 15,000, 15,000 for Asmodan. But damn, that was not a good trade whatsoever for the red team. They really suffered now, because this opened the map up for the opponent's team and gave them a lot more control over all of it. So yeah, that's definitely bad news. Top side forward is destroyed, bottom left forward is destroyed as well. Murky is now working the bottom of the map and is making the next play here, and this is also looking pretty good for them, so he should be able to take this one out. That's two structures on the red team that are now gone, so good for them. Murky Abathar, by the way, one of the most annoying combos they can possibly go up against in a game, so it just feels like every single kill that you get against them is absolutely not worth it. And then at the same time, we're having the plays here just padding out, annoying everybody, and then getting the occasional kill too. So yeah, that combo is just nuts. Zagara now with a protective coating and is pushing the top lane. But it's just a wild game. Another fight at the bottom of the map with Kira again moving in. Lili with the heals, Gavlo, Thrall dies. Yes, it is the sustain, that's the problem. The copy on Thrall as they're trying for Phoenix, and he is dead too. March of the Murlocs is out, and it's absolutely wrecking Lili. And with Kira coming in from the side, that's a kill. March value. Big March of the Murlocs value now for Murky, and of course with Lili gone, they can start to chase them again. May is already eliminated. Morenas is trying to get away, has also still the keg, but while this is happening, Zagara is sitting just pretty at the top and is saying, you know what, I'm just going to go for the keep here. Thank you very much. If you guys are going to play around on the map, I'm going to take this one. Now the temple is going to be taken. It's a double temple, but here, look at the Murlocs. Look at Lili. No chance for her. Absolutely no chance. Gets absolutely destroyed. Now the top keeper has already taken damage. The blue team with 11 kills to 6. They have level 16. Can they pull it off again? In the winner bracket final, in the best of 5, they took the final map. They won the series and moved to the grand final. Right now, can they do it again? Are they again going to be victorious against Team Ash, or is the red team bringing this back? Their keeps are getting attacked now. They're losing too much ground here. They're trying to force the team fights now, and I can guarantee you, eventually they will make that play for the boss that I already pointed out. It's one of the few things that they can do. They're stopping Kira in her tracks at the top, but they're trying to chase Thrall, and he's the first one to fall, but Kira will follow. Kira is gonna die. This time there's no counter kill. So far, every single time this happened, the team got a counter kill or two. Now they don't get that. Murky is still murking on the map, so he's just moving around here. They're trying to catch Zagara, and well, I shouldn't say try because they already did. She's dead. 16 is ready. Right now we're also getting the pick-me-up, and we have Trample for Asmodan. They're destroying one fort. They can go for another. Double Murky. We have a Murky copy. Oh my god. Alright, Murky copy, damage on the keep, and here's the play for the boss. They're doing it while everybody else is dead. They still have to be careful with the top lane, obviously. And it seems like Maitri is also the one that is attempting to shut down Murky here, as Abathar is already helping out. He completes the quest. Now, the boss is about to be taken, and Maitri is he dead? I mean, close. Lili with some heals, slides away, and damn, Murky with Abathar, it is a problem. They're kegging it up, and they take the boss, but even that was clutch. Even that was contested for just a moment here. It's just nasty. So right now, 21,000 for Phoenix, 38,000 for Abathar, and 36,000 for Kira and for Thrall. The damage numbers on them, oof, it's something. It really is. So right now, the push straight through the bot lane with the boss. I mean, this is really one of the big plays. They're trying to do as much damage as they possibly can. Ideally, take that keep down. They need to do damage here. That's been the case right from the start. The stacks for Azmodan on this level 1 nearly completed. Lili dies again. Lili dies. Murky, he doesn't care. He's going to be back in the moment. Phoenix is able to jump out, but the gap in experience is also brutal. It's more than a level, 1.5 at this point, and the next temple has been announced on the map. The blue team looking powerful here. They've lost a lot of their structures, but they still hold on to at least one fort, whereas Team Ahash has lost everything. The entire outer perimeter structure is gone. They are taking another camp here. And Murky, yep, they go for Mei. And Mei, ooh, might still lift. No, I'm just kidding. The Sundering takes her out without a problem. But everything else lives. And now we have the copy on Thrall. They're trying to go for Chen again. He's being pushed back. And up at the top lane, they go for the keep once more. So yes, more and more damage being done here. More and more work completed on this. And with every single shot that gets fired, the top side keep is more in trouble. And it's problematic. I mean, this is going to eliminate the keep. This is going to fall 100%. Even if they made their way over right now, they would be too late. So this is the first keep of the game that goes down. And they have level 20. That means Silent Killer. We have the Pack Instinct, Making Inky, Windrush, and also Hive Mind. So yeah, once again, Kira comes in with the Silent Killer. Beans, 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 chili con carne. That is essentially just her diet these days, and it results in her level 20 talent, and it is brutal. It is absolutely brutal. You can clear a room with this super easily. So Zagara at the top, she gets the shots. That's the second keep destroyed, and guys, it's happening. It is happening. They are going for gold here. 13 kills to 10. The red team doesn't have level 20. That's their biggest problem right now. Without level 20, how are you fighting back against this? They have to, though. So they're starting to move in. They're pushing the lanes back out, but they need to control the mid and the top lane because the core is fully exposed and they can't allow the opponent any longer to take these temples. It's just not a thing. They need kills. They need to do something. So Murky, he's dead once again. I mean, he's murking all day, every day. He's sitting at 35,000 damage. Siege damage is at 100,000, and now in comes the play for at least the top side fort. The blue team, they need to defend, they need to slow it down, and the red team need to bring all of the momentum that they can possibly muster in an attempt to start a mad snowball that they can turn into an avalanche to take him on. They have level 20, that's particularly good also for Phoenix because it adds the survivability with the unconquered spirit that he has now. That's huge. He had big troubles against specifically Abathar earlier. On top of that, we're now getting Sin's Grasp, and they shake it off as Murky comes in with another ult, trying to slow them down here. But of course, the counter from Mei with another wall. She quickly gets out. She herself went into the flash freeze. But they still are not able to take this out, and Abathar is pushing the middle of the map. Abathar is pushing the mid lane. He's having symbiotes everywhere right now. They're finally taking this out. There's still Zagara with another Nidus, and they take the fort. But Murky is going to push this in. Murky is going to go for core, and at the bottom of the map, there's catapults going strong. So what Team Ash is trying to do, they're really trying to just push. But they have to send somebody back. They can't afford this. They need to deal with Murky. Murky is escorting catapults onto the core, and you have to deal with it. Temples are activating again in another 10 seconds, and you can't allow them to take those either. So now we have not only defense there, but the keep is going to fall, and I think they're out of room. They're just out of room here. The Panda dies at the top as the fight is being forced upon them. Seems like he's also going to fall. Phoenix pops the Unconquered Spirit, but even that isn't enough. And with both of them already gone, the bottom keep destroyed, Azmodan desperately trying to defend, and Mei running for her life. This is going to be the conclusion. I do not believe that there's a chance for them to salvage this any longer. They don't have any structures. There's keep standing everywhere. The Raiders are going for it. Team Ash, they were able to take out the Bratwurst boys. They came into this final top 4 match as the first seed out of their group, but now they're falling for the second time to the Raiders. Team Ash forced the rematch, but it is the Raiders that claim victory, crown themselves the champion, take the title. They are the winners of Banshee Cup #1. GG, well played, and what a final.